he's got the hoverboards and stuff like that. Well, that's more Back to the Future. So, like, I need somebody to hype me up. I'm in Giants mode. I need to flip it to Niner mode. You're not in Giants mode?
I'm in both mode. Look, the Giants, they're going to the playoffs.
Okay. I got to win the division.
Like, yes, I feel like they're going to win the division. I think it's going to happen tonight. I'm predicting, you know what? I'm going to be at the game. Tonight, there will be champagne showers at 3rd and King. I'm predicting tonight.
Will you grant me this? I was early on, and I was steadfast on this. The Seahawks are not the 49ers route. Russ and Pete are. If you take one of those two out of the equation, this rivalry has lost its luster. Can we agree on that?
It's lost its luster because they haven't met in the playoffs again. And the Niners have been bad. Which takes some of the sizzle off the rivalry. Right now, the Niners' biggest rivalry, I don't know. Maybe, like you said, it may be with the fan base.
Well, that's a part
Team
of it.
Jimmy, Team Trey, Team Shedhead. It's all three.
Niners have beaten Green Bay like a drum until this last week, and people get fired up for the Packers. I bring up the New York Giants. People hate the New York Giants. Dallas Cowboy, they hate them. Rams, you bring up McVay, your boyfriend, and everybody loses their mind.
That's strong.
Well, you love him.
McVay's a really good coach.
I know.
You know, McVay.
You know, him and Shanahan have the same amount of Super Bowl appearances.
McVay is, they had the same Super Bowl appearances. How many postseason appearances? Who's got a winning record? Who took an offense from number 30th in the league to number 1? Number 1. Not number 2, not number 3, not number 4, but number 1. I am number 1. That's what Sean McVay was doing his first year with the LA Rams. So
I'm just not feeling the Seahawks this week. I don't know why.
Dude, this is
just
wild.
Not feeling it.
I'm feeling it because look.
Day of, I'll be ready, but I'm just not.
It's a big game.
I know it is.
And this is, you know what? The vibe that I'm getting from Joe Shasky and the vibe I'm getting from 49er fans, this is why I don't feel good about Sunday. This is why. Everybody's like, I'm just not feeling it. Well, you better be feeling it. It's a big game for the 49ers.
Doesn't it have the feeling of when the Niners lost that Monday nighter against the Seahawks, and then they had to go face Arizona on that short week, and they sleptwalked through that first half? I got a feeling we're going to have a similar.
You can't sleepwalk against the Seahawks.
I just feel like they're going to come out flat, man.
Well, if they're going to come out flat and they're going to lose two in a row, then you better. You can't lose this game, Shasky. Niners can't lose this game. You realize how monumental this game is on Sunday?
Believe me, I absolutely do. I know how big this is. I think this feels like, and again, this isn't hyperbole.
Can he even win without Kittle Sunday if he doesn't play?
This feels like the Jimmy Garoppolo fighting for his job. This is what it feels like to me.
Wow.
To me.
Wow. 888-957-9570. 888-957-9570. And I'm with you, 408. The rivalry with the Seahawks has lost its sizzle because the Niners haven't had a consistent quarterback. I'm with you there.
I am with you there. Big element of it.
That is a big element here. But a big element is George Kittle with the calf injury. May not play on Sunday. What if he doesn't play? Number 85's not out there? You feeling good about Sunday?
If he doesn't play, no, I'm not feeling good at all. How can you feel good? How can you feel good if George Kittle doesn't play? Like, they need all their weapons. Did you see the game he played the other night? Did you see some of the catches and runs after the catch that he made for this team in crunch time? Guy's a superstar.
Man. 888-957-9570. Do you have a good feeling about the Seahawks? Are you feeling like Shasky here? He's not feeling the game on Sunday. He's not feeling it yet.
It's just...
He's not feeling it yet. I can't believe this.
Look.
I can't believe this.
The time's not now, but I do think if Trey Lance was playing in this game, you'd have all the juice in the world. But he's not, and it's going to be Jimmy Garoppolo.
May play.
And to me, this is Jimmy Garoppolo. If he comes out flat in this first half...
Trey's getting bitched, or Trey's playing. I'm calling it right now. If Jimmy comes out flat on Sunday... And it's not fair. Well, you know what? I'll take that back. I'm not even going to say that because if George Kittle doesn't play, Jimmy has a built-in excuse. Jimmy has a built-in excuse saying, I didn't have my guy number 85. How can you bitch me without I have one of the best tight ends in football? I don't think you could do that to Jimmy Garoppolo. I really don't. By the way, download the Odyssey app and favorite 95.7 The Game to get breaking news updates as well as links to the top interviews. Tim Kirchin, he was out with DRK yesterday. We'll play some sound from that. That was one of the best moments on the game, powered by DuckDuckGo. Privacy simplified. We'll also get to what Draymond Green had to say yesterday. Draymond Green made his first appearance at training camp this season, and he had some stuff to say. What's up, Lakeford?
I was going to say, Shasky, I think the reason that, the Seahawks 49ers thing, because I agree with you. Like, even getting it on the pregame show from 5 to 6 every Monday through Friday. I host a solo if you want to tune in. But
what time?
5 to 6 in the morning.
I thought you came on at 4:30.
Well, I come in the studio at 4:30, get everything prepared. But I will say that 49ers Seahawks, it would take up an entire week of shows.
Agreed.
Like people would say, "What are you talking baseball playoffs for? We got 49ers Seahawks and all this."
Agreed.
But I think it's because of that team for the hat that you're wearing. The fact that the Giants are playing some meaningful baseball. Plus, you combine it with the Dodgers going win for win, loss for loss. I think that has something to do with it too.
That's a great point, Langford. And I'm gonna say that's really, really sad.
Why?
It disappoints me. I'm disappointed in the 49er fan base right now. I don't care if the Yankees had 108 wins. Yankees are in a playoff spot. You don't think Giant fans will still be fired up about Cowboy Week or about Eagles Week? Philly's in a pennant race. You don't think Eagle fans are fired up about Cowboy Eagle Week? What is going on out here? It's a big game at Levi Stadium. You just lost on the last-second field goal.
I just can't believe Kittle's out or might be out. Like, that's worrisome. I'm really worried. He signed that big contract. How many games did he play last year? Eight. He played 8 games last year, 2 games this year. Signs the big contract. Man, football's just so violent, man. It's just so violent. All these big contracts, it feels like these guys just go down like immediately after.
I'm really disappointed in fan base. And I'm disappointed in you right now. Shasky, I love you, man.
This Kittle injury is big.
Shasky, I love you. You know I do.
We're just in a weird transition period. We're just like waiting the Jimmy Garoppolo days out until Trey gets in there.
Dude, I love you, man. But I'd be lying if I said I wasn't disappointed in you right now.
What are you disappointed in?
Just you're usually, it's a Friday. You're wearing your custom-made Niners jersey.
Hey, it's
the
pretty
throwback.
soft.
Number 1, you got Shasky on the back. And you're not even hyped about Seahawks Niners.
Too. This is like a real throwback.
That's a real throwback.
You like this one, huh?
I do like that.
Yeah, it's pretty sharp.
I just wouldn't wear it because it says Shasky on the back.
Wait till you see the one I wear on Sunday.
And now you're bragging about what you're wearing on Sunday. But you're not even fired up about the actual. You're more fired up about what you're wearing on Sunday than you are about the actual game.
I'm more fired up for the Giants to clinch tonight, just freaking end it, just win tonight. Dodgers lose, boom, we're done. I can exhale, and then I can turn all my attention to, obviously, next Friday, which is when the Giants would host, but also Sunday, the game with the 49ers. Like, I still haven't gotten that Green Bay Packer loss out of my brain, and rarely do I harp on that loss that long. It's Friday, and I still am like, ugh. I'm still over that Sunday night game.
5-1. No, it must be Freaky Friday. Bonte is Shasky, and Shasky is Bonte. I don't even know if I'm Shasky. I'm just being me. San Fran Shasky is looming on a Frisco Friday again.
So, and here's the other part about it. I think Seattle. Look, Seattle could. I think Seattle's going to win the game. That's just me.
Wow.
Wow. Just look at the numbers. Russ always beats the Niners.
Oh, man.
But this feels like the most vulnerable Seattle team in terms of their roster and where they are and their life cycle and the relationships between Russ, the organization, the head coach. This feels like they're most vulnerable. And when they're vulnerable, like I thought they were last year, they bite you hard. And so I'm just, I don't know, man. I'm skeptical about this.
Seahawks defense ranks, dead last in the NFL, allowing 440 yards per game.
They were bad last year, and Bobby Wagner had an all-time game. They blitzed him like no other, and he destroyed them last year. And I thought they were ripe for the picking last year, and they won the division.
Seahawks defense is not good.
No.
Kirk Cousins carved them up. Now, he threw a lot of checkdowns, and he ran a lot of screen plays early on in Madison.
Their corners were laying off of them.
Yep, but they got cooking. And Kirk Cousins carved them up. There's no excuse for this 49ers offense this week against Seattle. But you know what?
You
know what, though? Division games are different.
Yeah.
Division games are different. And this is a big-time division game. Man. Wow.
Seahawks practice is going to be worth monitoring, too, though, because
Tyler Lockett
got hurt last week, participated on Wednesday, didn't participate yesterday, and then they also added DK Metcalf to that list, too.
Was it a foot with DK?
Implications.
Yeah, I've got a lot of Seahawks.
Yeah. Oh, you do?
Yeah,
no wonder you're fired up for this game.
No,
you're going to bring the pom-poms?
No, fantasy doesn't even matter. I check fantasy at the end of Sunday
night. When you have 9 teams, I get that.
Only 4 teams this year. 4 teams.
John Curley, you're younger.
Come on.
You are one of those people, Seahawks. Why does it not have the luster that it used to have?
I agree, guys. I think it's Giants playoffs that's been taken over a little bit more. And Russ, the whole drama that you have going on there, Pete Carroll, the problems there. And still with Jimmy, I think people are more focused on Jimmy more than what Seattle's doing right now.
And that's kind of where I'm at. And the other, I have no idea what team's showing up on Sunday. Bonte, if you told me the 49ers played great defense and won an ugly game and found a way to just churn out enough points and they won 17-13, I'd be like, okay. The Niners get blown out. I could see that.
Damn. 6-5-0. Aaron Rodgers took your soul.
He might have.
Aaron Rodgers took your soul.
He might have.
I'm scared to throw the phone number out there to ask people for Monday morning's headlines.
How much longer till Softy gets here? I got to prepare.
Dude, I'm going to ask everybody to predict the headlines for Monday morning, 888-957-9570, but I'm actually afraid to. I'm afraid to do that. Because I got a feeling a lot of people feel like San Francisco right now. They're not feeling good about Sunday's game.
Well, we've been crushing the head coach and the quarterback and, oh, my God, Tom Brady and everything. It's like, I'm so distracted.
How about this, Niner fans? I'm going to do you a solid. For the break, I'm going to do you a solid. We'll get back to Niners. But I feel like the Niner fan base is shaking in their boots. And yes, I am press box Bonte. I'm a Niner. I'm not. I'm just telling you, it's a big game. I've been feeling it all week. Yes, the Giants are rolling. I feel the Giants. How come you can't feel multiple things at once?
Okay, but who has more pressure in this game, Shanahan or Jimmy?
Both. Probably Jimmy.
Humpty,
Jimmy.
pick one.
Jimmy.
Thank you.
Jimmy.
Yeah, I think so, too.
It's Jimmy.
To me, it's Jimmy. Shanahan don't
Especially
have
without George Kittle. So you want to talk Willie Mack since everybody wants to talk about the Giants and ignore the Niners after they lost last Sunday.
My Willie Mack Award winner is going to be Brandon Crawford.
Yeah, that's a good one.
I got Brandon Crawford. I think he deserves it. I think there's an argument to be made for Belt. I just don't think he's played enough games.
It's an argument to be made for Wade Jr.
Absolutely.
Right?
But if I took Brandon Crawford off this team, I think that's the biggest void of all the players who could miss time. As much as Posey, is important to the team and everything he's done for the staff, I would love to see Brandon Crawford get the Willie Mack Award. I think it's long overdue, and I want to see him get it this year.
That's something we agree on. I think it's Brandon Crawford's. Yeah. The RBIs, the homers, but the leadership. Can he play quarterback? There's a lot of candidates for the Willie Mack Award for the Giants. 408, Niners stunned for the second week in a row off a field goal. What's the headlines for Monday? Shasky's already said, I feel like they're going to lose the game.
Just every time Russ comes into town, he holds onto the ball forever, makes plays, wacky stuff happens.
Wow.
The games are always, they're typically tight.
I'm like Guru now. Wow. I'm shocked at how afraid you are. And how, you are literally shook right now. You are shook. Thank the heavens for the Giants right now winning some baseball games. They got 105. Thank the heavens. Oh, my gosh. Raider fans are laughing at you right now. You know what? I respect Raider fan right now. Because win, lose, or draw, they out there repping. They are out there repping. All of a sudden, the Niners lose a game to the Green Bay Packers. And Niner fans think, what's going on? Man.
Look, Bonte.
Dude, this is soft.
No,
this is SOFT.
George Kittle might be out. You have your second or third string running back, depending on who's available right now. You look at the secondary, you're telling me Josh Norman's not going to play? I'm playing Dante Johnson? I'm looking at this 49er roster right now, and I'm saying to myself, they are so depleted. As I said to you on Monday and Tuesday, the cluster injuries feel like they're sabotaging the season, independent of the quarterback play. Then I throw in the shaky inconsistencies from the quarterback, the scared play calling from the coach because of the quarterback. This is a bad recipe for what they've got going right now. I got bad vibes going on with the 49ers.
Oh,
and
man.
the worst possible scenario is Russell Wilson, a surefire Hall of Famer, and Pete Carroll, a Hall of Fame coach, and they're circling the drains, and they're saying to themselves, 49ers, as I lick my lips, this is the get-right game. And I'm worried about that.
Wow. 888-957-9570. Do you agree with Joseph Shasky III? So I'm not even calling him Butcher no more. Not today. We're going to retire that for the next 2 hours. Unless he ethers Softy. Once you ether Softy, then you're back to being the Butcher. Then you're back to being Frisco Shasky. But right now, I just want to know. Are people more excited about the Giants right now than the Niners? Are you just more locked in on the Giants? You're kind of just pushing the Niners to the side? Because this is a big swing game.
You're feeling it too, though, aren't you?
What, about the Niners?
Yeah, just like
I'm just trying to figure out why people aren't fired up.
Well, I think
because I'm fired up about it.
I think there's a lot of people really down on the quarterback right now, and Jimmy Garoppolo. Him coming out, and if he slung it for like 300, 2 or 3 touchdowns, and he looked like rhythmic Jimmy from 2019 at the end of the year, or rhythmic Jimmy from 2017, I just think that would just go a long way to boost confidence. The entire team, the entire region, wrapping their arms around the guy. To me, this is one of those do or die type of games for Jimmy Garoppolo. I'm not saying that he's going to get replaced the following week, but it's a trend, and you got to start trending in the right direction. He had a great half against Detroit. He had singular drives here and there against Philly and against the Green Bay Packers. He needs to put together a potent first half to shut everyone up. Put some points on the board. Feel good. What happened to scripting the first 15 plays? What the hell's going on here? I got the greatest offensive mind.
You don't think they do that?
Since Bill Walsh in the building. And I can't, I think they are, but I think for whatever reason, they can't run the ball right now. They're getting shoved around on that offensive line. They're not a well-oiled machine offensively. And so for me to have all this optimism would be blind faith. And as much as I believe in a higher power, sometimes I got to see things. And I got to see how this first half plays out before I have any faith in the Niners right now.
Man. Whew. Let's go to Damian in Richmond. Damian in Richmond. What's happening here on the roast? Damian, what's happening? Going once? Going twice? Larry in the city. Larry, what's happening? You're on the roast.
What's up, fellas, man? Hey, you know what, dude? I got 2 tickets to go see the Seahawks game, thanks to Butcher. You know, I can't tell you, I'm excited, man. You know, this is something I've been wanting to see since Harbaugh started losing to the Seahawks. You know, I'm like this, man. The only people who are all upset with the Niners are the talk show hosts. Everybody I drive in my Uber, I drove 110 trips last weekend.
Wow.
That's my second job, not my
That's
first
crazy.
job. I drove 110 trips. I asked people, you know, hey, what do you think about the Niners? Oh, man, I love Jimmy G, and there's, you know. And I listen to you guys, and it's all this rain and thunder, and I can't even follow Grant Cohn anymore. I don't even know why that guy. I don't know why Grant Cohn even.
Well, Larry, real quick. Larry, Grant Cohn is a beat writer. He's not affiliated with the football team.
He's an influencer, dude. He doesn't even like the Niners, dude. I've listened to every single thing I listen about him is how much he hates the Niners.
What about us, Larry?
I like Grant. No, I'm not going to allow this slander. I'm a Grant
Larry.
fan.
Larry, what about us, though?
I love him. He's a good
What about
person.
us, though? What about us, Larry?
No, you guys are fans, man. You guys are like me. You guys blow in the wind like Jimmy's this week. Oh, this week Jimmy was great. Oh, we got to trade him. Oh, we got to trade him. You know. And,
hey, so much for that apology 3 weeks ago.
hey, can I give you my prediction?
Yeah.
What's up?
Okay, here's my prediction. You know what? Trey Lance is going to start after the Arizona game. I mean, no, because I thought about this, man, and tell me if I'm wrong. I thought about this. When Jimmy came from New England, right? He didn't start the very next day. He got a uniform.
No.
He sat in a few games that we were losing crazy, right? You know, and it was the right move. All of a sudden, Jimmy comes in, he busts out 5 wins. I think that's what's going to happen to Trey Lance.
Thanks for the call, Larry. Thanks for the call, Larry.
You know what, B? I'm thinking about this.
Shasky, what Larry just said, Trey Lance start after the bye week, we say that, and we're getting crushed. We're Jimmy haters. So I'm not even going to touch that.
Look, here's what
I'm
I
not even
said.
touching that.
You and I did not write the Seth Wickersham piece.
No.
He did. He's in New England.
Yeah.
He's in New England. That's where that guy covers the Patriots. I'm so fatigued with this woulda, coulda, shoulda of the quarterback position. Jimmy's the quarterback right now. Let's see what he can do on Sunday. Eventually, Trey's going to get the opportunity. I'm so sick and tired of talking about the revolving door of woulda, coulda, shoulda acquisitions at quarterback. I'm fatigued by the Mac Jones should have been the pick. I'm fatigued by, oh my God, we're flirting with Kirk Cousins. I'm fatigued by, look at what they're doing. They should have taken Matt Stafford. Trey's the backup until he's the starter. Jimmy's the starter. I want to see it from Jimmy. Let's go. Show me something. Show me you're a ball player. Let's see it this weekend. And Kyle Shanahan, show me you're not just an OC. Show me you're a damn head coach. They're a vulnerable team right now. Take it to them. Show me what you can do against a defense you practice against every single day. Slice them up. Put points on the board in the first half and wake me up. All right? You put me to sleep. You're like an Ambien. You're putting me to sleep in offense. Why do you think we're all pissed off on a Friday? Why do you think I'm talking about baseball, the slowest, boringest sport out there, because your offense is more boring than a pitching change.
There we go, baby.
Jesus Christ, this is on the
There
team.
we go, baby.
It's not me.
Frisco Shasky's back, baby. He's back. It's Seahawks week. Don't you want to have a chance to end the legacy of Russell Wilson? You beat the Seahawks 49er fan. They're 1-3, and now the news and the rumors start spreading about Russell Wilson playing his last season with Seattle. It's about time you got fired up, Shasky. Come on. Wake up, baby.
I am up. And get over Tom Brady. I'm looking at you. I'm pointing at you. I'm looking at you through the glass.
Me
get
Tom
over
Brady?
Tom Brady. Get over it.
I'm not
allowing you to do that today.
I never wanted Tom Brady.
Yeah, I get it. It didn't happen.
I never wanted Tom Brady.
Tom, take a hike. All right? I'm not rooting for you no more.
Hey, that report yesterday.
I'm done.
Yeah, you are rooting for Tom Brady. That report yesterday hurt you, huh? Come on, just me and you right here. The report hurt you.
That was my Khaleesi. I wanted to see my guy take over the crown. Of course I did. I wanted to see him play quarterback.
That one hurt.
Happen.
That one stung.
It didn't happen.
Well, Shanahan said the report wasn't accurate. We got a break. We'll talk about it on the other side.
And now I have a new Lion King. Simba, Trey Lance.
The 49ers' most hated rival.
Broken up, picked off.
The Seattle Seahawks fly into town for a Sunday.
Shasky, as we sip our timeless coffee, getting ready for some Giants baseball tonight. You got DeSclafani on the mound, Anthony DeSclafani on the mound. The Willie Mack Award winner will be announced today at Oracle Park. Can't wait for that, as the Giants are up 2 games up on the Dodgers in the National League West with 3 to play. Dodgers lose today. Giants win. Guess what? Giants are popping champagne, baby. The T-shirts. It's a T-shirt and hat game. T-shirt and hat game. Just need the Brewers to handle some business. Clayton Kershaw on the mound for the Dodgers. Can the Brew Crew get one down there at Dodger Stadium? We'll talk some Giants. We're going to continue to roll on the Giants. Right now we got some people who may or may not be fired up for the 49ers Seahawks game. Shasky, I'm going to ask you here. Because you're waking up here. You're waking up. You're starting to get the Butcher name back. You are. You've been worrying me a little bit. But does this feel like a make-or-break type of game for the Niners season?
It absolutely does. I feel like...
And it's crazy, right? It's only week 4.
Yeah, but that's how this division is right now. I mean, you're looking at a team in the Rams and you look at a team in the Arizona Cardinals and you say to yourself, they're going to be really tough to beat. You want to keep dismissing Arizona? Fine. But they keep winning. Mm-hmm. I look at Seattle. They're going to win at least 8 or 9 games at minimum, even if everything goes wrong. Like, they're not a 6-win team. Mm-hmm. Guys like Russell Wilson don't win 6 games. Mm-hmm. You know, that's just not what happens. So I look at Seattle and I'm saying to myself, this to me feels like they're playing for their 2021 lives,
right,
for their season. And the 49ers could easily be looking at a 3-game slide if they lose this weekend and then lose again next week. This game is monumental. First division game, another NFC conference game, and another uphill climb against a quarterback who's better than the quarterback you have under center. Now, I understand that defenses, are the ones that go up against the quarterback, but at some level, it's quarterback versus quarterback. We look at things like that. Mm-hmm. And it's another person who has done a good job scheming against Pete Carroll in Kyle Shanahan, and another person who Pete Carroll has done a good job scheming against Kyle Shanahan. The Niners offense has scored against them, but also been stifled at times. Those 2 games in 2019 were boom games, as in one play made or broke both games. And they were going back and forth and back and forth. Shanahan has beaten Pete Carroll with Nick Mullins. That felt like an outlier in the rain. It was a wild storm. I was at that game. But for the most part, Pete Carroll has demolished the 49ers throughout his tenure. Russell Wilson has demolished the 49ers throughout his tenure.
14-4 against the 49ers, Russell Wilson. 14-4.
And all of the stuff this week is non-football stuff. What's going on with the quarterback? What's going on with the head coach? Oh, my God. Is the head coach trying to throw the GM under the bus? What's going on with this Brady stuff? And all of this talk, to me, is a huge distraction. This team needs to focus. They need to figure it out. They need to win in the trenches. And they need to get back to what made them a good team. But the problem is that they got running back issues, B. I can't run the ball right now. My center got dominated by Kenny Clark last week. So the hallmark of the recipe of what was success in 2019, I just don't think that can be the recipe for 2021 success this year. I need the quarterback to have a great game, and I need the coach to dial up the plays in the first half. They cannot get out to a bad start this week.
Let's go to Jose in Oakland. Jose, you're on the roast here on 95.7 The Game. What's happening?
Hey, good morning, guys. Sorry, let me just step out of the office. I'm at work.
Don't get fired,
I just wanted to bring up a point. I think everybody keeps focusing on what Jimmy G is going to do, what the offense is going to do. To be quite frankly, in looking at the past 3 games, the big difference I see is we still have the same players on the defense, although some of them are injured. But the scheme is lacking. I compare to what Robert Saleh was doing, and even the attitude of the players. You know how they say players take on the attitude of their coaches? Robert Saleh used to be really fired up all the time. Whereas I see D'Amico Ryan on the sidelines, he keeps looking at his playbook like he's reading the news. I just don't see the fire on him. I don't know if it's the attitude or what, but the defense has. The points have been there. I mean, the team has been putting points, but at the same time, they just keep getting burned over and over and over, and there's just no change with the scheme.
Yeah.
So I don't know. At some point, I feel D'Amico Ryan is going to be a good coordinator, but I think the biggest mistake they did this year, as far as the front office, was not getting a more experienced defensive coordinator.
That may be a good point,
I don't know what
Jose.
you guys
Thanks
think.
for the phone call. Don't get fired calling us. It's not worth your job. Trust me.
I
We
think
appreciate
D'Amico
it.
Ryans on the list of worries, him specifically, he's like my fifth or sixth worry.
Yeah, he was fired up in Philadelphia.
I thought he was fine.
He was fired up in Philadelphia.
K1
Right.
goes out of the game. Norman
Right.
goes out of the game.
Right. I mean, you're
Like,
playing Dante Johnson.
And you're playing Aaron Rodgers, one of
Right.
the great tacticians of all time. I said this to Baldy, and Baldy agreed. He threw 6 or 7 balls that could easily be the greatest balls thrown at Levi Stadium.
And here's the deal with the defense. You don't have DeForest Buckner. You're trying to work in Javon Kinlaw. D Ford is 2 years older than that 2019 team, and Nick Bosa is getting chipped left and right. And they're talking about making the adjustments to help out Nick Bosa so he doesn't get chipped. D'Amico Ryans in the defense play. Look, 37 seconds left. You gotta hold the Packers. Oh, you got to keep them out of field goal range. That was not good. But let's be real. The defense kept the 49ers in the football game for the most part in the second half. In the first half as well, they had some key stops, held the Packers to field goals. In the second half, the Packers couldn't get anything rolling, couldn't get anything humming there in the second half. So I thought D'Amico, he did okay. They got to be better. There's no doubt about it. But there's some key injuries.
Let me give you the 3 injuries that we're hearing about this morning from Kyle Shanahan. The first one, his answer, I would pretty much say it's pretty doubtful. Shanahan on Josh Norman playing on Sunday. So it sounds like he is not going to play. So you're going to be playing Diamondor Lenore and maybe Dante Johnson. Not good. How about Elijah Mitchell, the guy who was spectacular in week 1? Is he ready to play? Not yet, Kyle Shanahan said. So now you're back to Trey Sermon. I don't think Trey Sermon fits the I formation run game that Jimmy Garoppolo wants to do as a quarterback because he's more traditional.
Or what
under
Shanahan
center.
wants to do, too.
Well, what Shanahan wants to do with Jimmy Garoppolo.
Right.
I think when Trey gets in there, you go gun run. Trey Sermon will look better in gun run situations. Certain running backs in college have never taken snaps in I formation.
Carlos Hyde, that was a big problem
Trey
when Shanahan
Sermon's one of
came.
those guys.
Yep,
Look
no
at what
doubt.
Ohio State runs. Do they even play a fullback?
They don't play a fullback. They go
Did
straight
Oklahoma play
shotgun.
fullbacks?
Nope, they go straight shotgun. Oklahoma did have a fullback, but they go straight
Yeah.
gun, one back, and even a lot of single back formation.
Yes.
So that is a great point about
here's the
Trey
big
Sermon.
one. Here's the big one, B. George Kittle, game status, which is coming out of nowhere. It's got me worried. Not guaranteed, quote unquote, from Kyle Shanahan.
Wow.
So you're telling me the secondary, which was already depleted, will continue to be depleted. The running back situation, which was already depleted, will continue to be depleted. And then George Kittle, a guy who flipped the field for you multiple times in the first couple weeks, he's not guaranteed to play. It's not good, man. And it's not negativity. It's like
It's just being honest.
It's just
being honest. It's just being honest.
That's why if Jimmy
It's
can
just
win,
being honest.
B, if Jimmy can win with all these variables, no
This is
run
a big game
no
for
run
Jimmy.
game, no George Kittle, you would be able to capture all of the love back from the fan base in your own locker room.
By the way, we will get to what Draymond Green had to say at training camp yesterday. He said a lot of things, spoke on the Andrew Wiggins situation, spoke on the status of the team. Where are they at? Are they a championship contender? Are they developing? We'll hear from Draymond Green later on in the show, but right now it's about the callers. Let's go to Word in Oakland. Word, what's happening? You're on the roast.
What's up, fellas? After about 5 days of rolling that bus over Jimmy, I'm glad y'all got a little bit of conversation for the defense, but the secondary, y'all haven't talked about those dudes at all.
Oh, we have.
That defense was, I mean, not to the extent. Like, I wanted to hear Shansky blast them like he's been blasting.
Hey, Word.
Jimmy and like
Hey,
Mike
Word.
Johnson blasting Jimmy and the coach.
Hey, Word.
Because
It's
in the
tough.
first half of that game, Aaron was throwing lobs. Like, they got up on us because of those lobs and those 32 penalties that we couldn't get off the field about. Like, that's what lost the game, and we already know what the secondary did to us at the end after Jimmy won the game. Like, put some of that on them, too.
Hey,
They're
Word,
playing
we're with
a
you.
rookie.
But you got Diamondor Lenore.
I'm not going to crush the rook.
Well, no.
Dante
you know
Johnson
what?
sucks.
No, he does
That
stink.
I'll agree with.
But you got Tart and Ward have to be better.
I thought they had
Jimmy
an
Ward
okay
and Jaquaski Tart have to be better. You're right. Hey, Word. Secondary's on notice. But the pass rush also has to help out the secondary. And I thought the pass rush wasn't there last week.
Right. Can't cover all day. You're right.
Yeah, but
I mean, I'm
the
just
other part of this,
saying, the way you guys don't seem to want to find the nuggets of positive for Jimmy, you're doing that too hard for the secondary right now. Like, y'all are really trying to ease up on the secondary. Those dudes were terrible. And I understand they're young and inexperienced, and that's why we should be worried more about them. I trust Jimmy more than I trust them Sunday. If Jimmy has a typical game, we fine. If that secondary has a typical game, we're a wrap.
Hey, Word, I'll say this. The pass rush should be put on notice. That's one sack last week against Aaron Rodgers by Eric Armstead. Obviously, Bosa's getting doubled and chipped. But these guys got to get to the quarterback. It's simple. If we hype you up as the best,
rid of it quickly.
But
you know what, Chasky?
I don't care. I don't care. The Green Bay Packers offensive line played well. They ran the ball when they needed to run the ball last week. They passed the ball when they needed to pass the ball. The pass rush the last 2 weeks against Philadelphia and Green Bay. I need more from this defensive line. They are the strength of the football team. They are the strength of the football team, Shasky. They've got to be better, and they got to help the secondary out this Sunday.
So I looked at a couple of the big plays in the game. Aaron Rodgers took like 1-2 steps and just threw perfect balls. K'Wan Williams on the one to Lazard, he was with them step for step for step for step, and it was a perfectly thrown ball. Sometimes that happens. I'm not saying all the time, and I'm not caping up for the secondary. The secondary is not good, but I'm not going to come out here and crush a fifth-round rookie starting basically as your cornerback number one. Crush Dante Johnson, him even being on the roster, absolutely. Crush the team for not prioritizing cornerback when everyone knew it was a massive hole. Yeah, no doubt. They didn't allocate enough money and draft capital to that position in general the last couple of years. Josh Norman looked good in that game until he went down. Now, I know he got beat once. You're going to get beat. There are not a lot of great secondaries. I'm not that mad at the secondary. You played an all-time great quarterback who was in his bag on Sunday night. We got to also understand the other team gets paid too. And Devontae Adams and Aaron Rodgers as a combination, it's one of the great combinations the NFL has ever seen.
I hear you. Defense got to step up, though, regardless.
Of course.
You got 37 seconds. The pass rush has to be better. The bootlegs, guys are getting out on the perimeter. They're running around. Jalen Hurts had all day to throw. He had all day to throw in Philadelphia, all right? Let's go to Jake in the city. Jake, what's happening? You're on the roast.
Hey, guys, this is all I know. I mean, you guys talk like you expect Jimmy Garoppolo. He needs to put up 40 points every game, and I think he probably does with the defense he's got. But this is what I know about the Niners. When Jimmy Garoppolo is quarterback for Kyle Shanahan, they win. When he's not, they suck. And if they run him out of town, they're going to suck, and the Shanahan era is going to be over. I mean, 27 points – when your offense didn't play that great, but your defense was terrible, that's enough to win a game. You still scored 27 points, and you put your defense out there with 37 seconds left when half of the college defenses could have stopped that.
Jake,
Guys,
let me ask you something.
Jimmy,
Jake,
that's cool.
Jake, we're not bagging on Jimmy. My criticism this week, Bonte Hill, I'll speak for myself. It's been on Kyle Shanahan. It's been on Kyle Shanahan.
Yes.
It's been on Kyle Shanahan. Let's be honest here. But hold on. Jake. Hold on. Put him down for a second. Jake, I want you to hear this. You can't tell me you watched that game on Sunday and said, boy, Jimmy Garoppolo's playing some great football right now. He's not. He did not play great football last week. Even his completions, they were errant throws. The ball placement on these throws are terrible. Jake, Jimmy Garoppolo did not have a great game on Sunday. Kyle Shanahan may have had a worse game on Sunday. Those things could both be true.
They're not good. I mean, if he's so bad, why can't they win with another guy?
You're right.
That's a fair point.
If he's so bad, why can they not win with another guy?
No one is saying he's that bad. There's levels to this. When you look at all the good players around the league, look at what Joe Burrow's doing last night. He's the number 1 overall pick. I get it. That's why they moved up to go get Trey Lance. At some point, they're going to change it over. You are right. Their record with Jimmy Garoppolo is indisputable. But I could say the exact same thing when Nick Bosa and Debo Samuel are in the lineup. Why don't we credit them when they're winning? They're 19-7 with Debo Samuel in the lineup. All right? 16-6 with Nick Bosa when he's in the lineup. So, yes, it is true. You cannot win, Kyle Shanahan, under your regime when Jimmy Garoppolo's not under center. It's also true that they have been trying to upgrade from Jimmy Garoppolo the entire time.
Right.
He's good enough for right now, but at some point, they have to turn the card over to someone else.
And that's what it is. And you could say, hey, well, how come Shanahan can't win without Jimmy Garoppolo? He's supposed to be this offensive guru. That's another great point.
Yeah, but I would point to look at Bill Belichick looked like last year with a backup quarterback.
No doubt.
Okay?
I also look at
Great
Bill Belichick.
coaches.
Also, look at Bill Belichick with Matt Castle. They won 10 games.
That was one of the greatest rosters ever assembled. And
I don't care.
Make the playoffs.
I don't care. Matt Castle stunk.
The AFC
Matt
East
Castle
was
hadn't played football since high school. You won 10 games with Matt Castle.
They went undefeated the year prior.
You won 10 games with Matt Castle.
Come on.
Matt Castle.
I know. And he got paid by the Kansas City Chiefs, and he stunk.
That's what I'm saying.
That team didn't make the playoffs
and you
because
still
they had
won
a
10
bunch of
games.
easy victories against the Jets, Dolphins, and Bills. The Dolphins won that crappy division running the wild card that year.
The Wildcat. Yeah, I know.
Or whatever. Wild card.
Tony Sperano. Matt Castle sucked. He still won 2 games with him. Gene in Oakland. Hadn't played since high school with Matt Castle.
Hey,
Gene
guys.
in Oakland. What's up, man?
Hey, allow me to speculate as to what I think is going to happen over the next few weeks.
Give it to me.
Okay, if Jimmy wins these next 2 games, it's still his team, obviously. If he splits these next 2 games, I think it's still his team. But if they lose these next 2 games and he doesn't look good, even though, there may be other reasons, obviously the defensive problems, running back and so forth, I think Lance starts that game after the week off. I think it's against Indy. That might be a good time to start him one way or another. I think that's probably when he begins his reign. So
wow.
Anyways,
Thanks for the call, Gene. Have a good weekend. Let's go to Antonio in Oakland.
I'm with Gene on that.
Yeah, I am too.
But here's the thing: it's not just the team success. Jimmy's just got him, and it's Kyle too. It's not. They're connected. Like that's the other thing. Everyone, they're all connected. When Kittle plays, they're a better team. When Jimmy plays, they're a better team. When Kyle's dialing up, they're a better team. All these things are interconnected. No one is here saying Jimmy's the weakest link on the entire team. He's a weaker link, drive to drive, throw to throw. And he's also great sometimes. He threw an absolute dime to George Kittle on that final drive. A dime.
Yep. 510, where's Arden Key, Bonte?
Yeah.
He's same place where San Francisco is right now. San Francisco's left the studio. He's gone. Arden Key, I haven't heard from him. I need more from this defensive line.
Cherry flavored bourbon?
Dude,
Never heard of it.
I'm challenging his defensive line. They've got to dominate the game. They've got to dominate the line of scrimmage. Chris Carson is coming to town. He wants to run the ball up your throat, all right? He wants to play physical football and run between the tackles. I saw Aaron Jones last week run between the tackles and punk the 49ers.
Too.
This defensive line's got to be better.
Yeah.
Forget the secondary. I'm calling out the best unit on the defense. They got to step up.
Well, and you got to stuff the run. Like the run, I'm telling you, man, they're getting themselves into these positions where they can't even pass rush. When you allow a guy 2 steps to be able to throw a first down, like they need to be in 3rd and long. But you have to earn that on the first 2 downs by stuffing the run.
Dave Softy Mahler hosts a show up in Seattle, Drive Time. Been doing it for a long time. Long time. Joins us at 8:30. And he's going to be talking smack. Yeah, maybe he will, maybe he won't. 950 KJR in Seattle. We'll see about him. Let's rat-a-tat these calls. Start with Antonio in Oakland. What's up, Antonio?
Hey, guys. Yeah, Jimmy G, he made about 4 big boy throws, and, he got critiqued for that pass where Debo Samuel, snatched it, and people were like, oh, that's Jimmy's fault. It was a bad pass. I mean, he had a freaking big, fat D tackle in his face about to sack him, and he sidearmed it, Mahomes' And that's why, Debo had a guy all over him. Like, I'm happy that he even got that pass off. Like, I don't know how he did it, man. I mean, this is not the Big 12, where, the next closest defender is going to be 15 yards away from him. Like, this is the NFL. Guys are going to be dripped over receivers from time to time.
Mm-hmm.
But, hey, Jimmy G, I think he's going to, win this game for us, man. I believe in him. He's not a perfect quarterback, but he's more than capable of winning, just like he won at Seattle to win a division in 2019. And I think Nick Bosa and D Ford, them guys, they're going to really redeem themselves because they know they didn't do what they were supposed to do versus Aaron Rodgers.
No doubt.
Hopefully they double team their best receiver for once.
Yeah, and I'd like to see them move Nick Bosa to the inside the way Baldy was saying, where he can't get chipped the way he has. You could tell he was clearly frustrated with that. Do some stunts. Mix it up a little. Have these guys on the move or move them around to go up against different people. It's not like you can't beat interior offensive linemen.
I'm with you.
So I'd like to see a little bit of multiplicity in terms of how they pass rush and where they line guys up this week.
Let's go to Ben in the city. Ben, what's happening? You're on the roast.
Hey, Monte, good morning to you and Joe, Mr. Shasky. Hey, I gotta pump you up on my Niners hat that I'm wearing today.
Let's go.
even though my Giants, when they play the candlestick, right, we talked about it. I said, when you take that ride from Bacon to San Bruno in the city down to the ballpark, they were doing the same thing. But that's Barry Bonds' time. And, back in the day when you go watch Frank Gore out there.
Oh, yeah.
Jimmy G, he's got enough. But I got to pump the brakes on Shasky because, Bonte, you got it right. It's a Niners town. The first championship that was ever won in San Francisco was by the 49ers, right? Mm-hmm. And so we got to make sure that that's the case. And so even though the Giants are doing this amazing season, I just, I got to be on Bonte's side where, Shasky, you were kind of a little Debbie Downer a little bit earlier today, but I'm feeling you now.
Yeah. He's getting better. He woke up.
It's Friday.
He sipped some timeless coffee.
I'm a little tired.
Thanks for the call.
Aren't
Ben.
we
You
all?
got the timeless coffee. Yeah, we are tired. But look, man, look, I don't want to get into whether or not it's a Giants town or Niners town or Warriors town. I don't care about that.
Whoever's winning.
But this is a big week.
Yeah.
It's Seahawks week. Russell Wilson's coming to town for possibly the last time. All right? They're vulnerable. They're desperate. They know, the Seattle Seahawks know, man, we fought a 1-3. This is going to be tough to win this division. We got problems. The Niners can go to 3-1. And then you go to Arizona, and you just do what you got to do to win the damn football game in the Valley of the Sun. And you go into the bye week at 4-1, and we all feel better. You got to win this game.
Yeah, this is the seesaw.
You got to
game.
win this game.
And
I need more. And I'm telling you, I'm putting the pressure on the defensive line and his front seven. Fred Warner Jr. and his defensive line. Where are you at this week? They need to be in Russ's face all day long at Levi Stadium. I don't care if they're getting the ball out quick. You got to hit these guys. Aaron Rodgers' white jersey last week was clean. There was not one grass stain on that jersey. Not one.
Cleaner than the jersey I'm wearing?
Cleaner than that jersey right now. Got to get dirty. Let's go to Sam real quick in Hercules before we hit the break. Sam, what's happening? You're on the roast.
Hey, what's up, guys? Happy Friday.
Happy Friday.
So, small details. I want to go back to, clock management. Shanahan still is not learning from what he did in Atlanta. That 12 seconds at the end where we snapped the ball and got that touchdown.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's on coaching and Jimmy. Jimmy should be a leader to know, hey, man, let me run this clock down a little bit. I mean, I'm sure Brady, Rodgers, they would have known better. So it's leadership from Jimmy. You got to be smart on that. And then coaching on Shanahan. Come on, man, grind that clock down. We had that victory. Small details.
Small details. You're right. Small details. Clock management does have to be better. Joe, Eddie, hang on the line. We'll get to you after the break. I think we had Dave Softy Mahler on. Radio host up in Seattle. KJR is going to come here. He's going to bring some noise. He's going to try to. But I bet you Softy right now, he's probably like us. He's probably like a lot of fans right now. Mariners are playing well. They have a chance to go to the wild card game. He's probably like, you know what? The Seahawks are 1-2. I'm going to just pause on them for a second. I'm going to just focus on the Mariners. That's where Softy's going to come in and play. He's going to try to dominate Joe Shasky. I don't think it's happening today. Dave, Softy Mahler will give us the gist of what's happening up there in Seattle with the Seahawks. Right here on the roast coming up.
The 49ers' most hated rival.
End zone, Crabtree, broken up.
time this is fired up? I'm going out there tomorrow.
False start on me.
False start. The false start on me. I thought he was there.
Yeah, you got me all fired up. I mean, I was listening to Steven.
I get a text late night from Softy say, yo, gonna have to cancel you, bro. We're gonna be heavy Mariners. Oh, I bet. Oh, now you care about the Seattle Mariners.
Oh, they're pivoting.
Pivot,
don't panic.
Pivot, don't panic. Seahawks are 1-2. Mariners in a race. You know what? We haven't talked Mariners baseball in 15 years. You know what? They got a big weekend. Let's go talk Mariners now. Bonte, I got to cancel. I said, damn. Like that, Softy?
All right.
Like that?
So he's here. Let's just do this. This is why Seattle sucks for a variety of reasons, but let's start off with this. Old man Softy Mahler's been coming on these airwaves, bumping his lips for years with his one measly Super Bowl, and they basically handed Tom Brady another Super Bowl. At least when the Niners blow one, we blow one to a young and up-and-coming phenom. We don't just hand it over to Bill Belichick at the 1-yard line like I'm going through the drive-thru. When I look at their musicians that represent Seattle, oh, you got Jimi Hendrix. Macklemore is the heart and soul of hip-hop coming out of there. We got 40 Water Mac Dre. Are you kidding me?
Too short.
You can't even come close to the legacy that we have in the cultural impact. You got Boeing. You got Amazon. Fantastic. This is the heart of Silicon Valley. We got Apple, Google. We're printing money left and right. And when I look at your sports scene, it's kind of pathetic. The Sonics picked up and moved and have had nothing but success as the Oklahoma City Thunder. You guys are still crying about that bad boy in the Space Needle. Meanwhile, the Golden State Warriors are hoisting Larry O'Brien's year after year after year. We've got the greatest player in the franchise history still in his prime. Oh, and by the way, Pete Carroll is like 70 gosh darn years old. I'm staring at 30 more years of Kyle Shanahan. Russ has got 1 foot out the door. Sierra is afraid to be in Seattle because it's so damn dangerous and dark and rains all year round. And while we're at it, Starbucks is watered down. I'm sipping on the finest coffee brewed here in Oakland. Timeless. Step on in, Softy. I'm ready for you.
Did you have to write all that down?
Hell no, dog. I'm the freestyle king like Mr. Fat.
Honestly, tell me, was he reading that off a piece of paper?
Look, Softy. That's
and by
off
the
the
way,
top of the dome.
Sucks.
The top of the dome. That's
Okay,
top of the dome.
Starbucks is terrible.
Starbucks is.
No self-respecting Seattle sports fan will drink Starbucks after the way Howard Schultz bent us over in 2008 and sold the basketball team to Oklahoma City. So I used to be a gigantic fan of Starbucks. I used to love my caramel frappuccinos. I would get 2 or 3 a day, and I haven't been there in 13 years. So if you think you're getting at me with a shot at Starbucks, you are as ignorant as the day is long. And if you also think that losing to Joe Flacco in a Super Bowl qualifies as an up-and-coming quarterback, I mean, what are you talking about?
Mahomes.
This is just further proof that any idiot can get on the air in San Francisco and do a radio show and talk sports because you don't know what the hell you're talking about. An up-and-coming, that's the best you can do, is to have a Sonic fan on the air and take a shot at Starbucks and think that that's going to be bothersome to me? We hate Starbucks. Like, what are you talking about? I mean, you can't even talk smack. This is unbelievable. You're sitting there reading all this off a piece of paper, taking shots at a corporation that people up here hate anyway, talking about losing to an up-and-coming quarterback in Joe Flacco. I mean, my God, dude. Do better. Well, holy cow. I expected much more out of you, pal. Much more out of you. Well, where's Kate? Is she still there? Did she take off yet and take that Sixer job? Because, Bonte, you might want to get rid of the guy next to you and have an opportunity here to fully clean house and bring in somebody who actually knows what the hell he's talking about.
Hey, Softy, check it out. Joe Shasky, the Butcher, is one of a kind.
Go ahead.
He's one of a kind. And you know what?
Do better. The floor is yours.
And Softy, he's got more takes. He's got more bullets in the chamber. He took it easy on you. You know why? Because Softy, I'm going to say this.
Is that a water gun or a Glock?
Hey, Softy, I'm gonna come with the AK right now. You guys are talking Mariners baseball up there for the first time in 15 years. Do you even know who's batting leadoff for the Mariners? Do you even know? Hey, Softy, Softy, you ain't going to no damn playoffs.
Your producer who said that there's no buzz for this Seahawks Niner game down there in San Francisco either. So don't act like we're the only team that's got baseball fever. The Giants are kicking ass right now. You guys know that. The Mariners have a weekend against the Angels where they're going to put 40,000 a game in the stadium. Guys, look, our baseball team has not been very good. All right, nobody is going to deny that.
Hey,
It's been
Softy,
20 years since they made the
hold on. Let me give you a
playoffs.
tip.
I think your co-host was 4 years old the last time the M's made the postseason. Not even sure if he was born.
50?
So yeah, we got baseball fever up here, man. There is not a lot of buzz for the Seahawks Niner game on Sunday for
Hey,
sure.
Softy, when you prep for your show today, just know that King Felix is no longer the ace of the Mariners, okay? I want you to know that. Robinson Canoa's long gone. He's
Chip
not
Buhner.
cheating up there no more. Richie Sexton.
Valley.
Richie Sexton is long retired.
This is what your co-host did not do for this segment. I can tell you that after that opening monologue. Holy cow, that was weak.
Hey. Softy. How many more years you got left doing this bit?
You know what? Hopefully not many. I want to just jump on the golf course and get rid of this freaking thing and move on from people like you.
Hey, Softy, keep it real with me. When Russ leaves you guys...
God. Are you kidding me? If they came to me tomorrow and said you're out, I'd say, thank God. Where do I sign?
When Russ leaves you guys and you're stuck with Pete Carroll and the crooked nose like he's robbing a bank, what are you guys going to do? Like, what are you going to do on Sundays? Like, you're going to have all this free time on your hands. You're going to be the doormat of the NFC West. It's kind of sad. Like, once Russ leaves you guys, which is inevitable, it's going to happen. Like, what are you guys going to do? All that fake crowd noise that you've been, pumping the last couple of years, everybody had that last year.
Niners go at 1:30, so got the old picture-in-picture from back in the day on the 1995 27-inch Magnavox that still works. We can fire that bad boy up.
With your takes.
We got the separate TV setup going, so yeah, we're fired up for Sunday. Sunday's going to be a fun day. The Huskies go at 6 o'clock.
The Huskies. Hey, Softy.
With the Mariners and Angels, so it's like a sportsgasm weekend, baby.
Hey, the Washington Huskies, the same team that lost to Montana. The Huskies, you don't.
Yes, sir. We're coming back. We're climbing out of a hole.
The Mariners will have
nothing
more
better than
fans tonight.
redemption, Bonta.
Hey, Softy. The Huskies stink, all right? You ain't smelling no roses anytime soon. Oregon now owns that region. You know that. I know that. Even Cal fans who don't give a damn about the Cal Bears know that Oregon owns that region. And by the way, you talked about 40,000 going to be there. And what is it called? T-Mobile Park now? You don't call it Safeco anymore. T-Mobile Park. There's 40,000 coming to see Ohtani. There's 40,000 people saying, Ohtani's in town.
Again. Yeah, he's not pitching this Sunday, by the way. You know they pulled him, right?
He's going to hit, though.
That kind of stuff.
He's going to hit, though. He's going to hit.
Another example of guys that aren't paying attention.
Hey, Softy,
Where's
he
Kate
DHs?
Scott? Get Kate Scott back in there. We need a professional. Kate,
Softy.
Please, I'm begging you.
Softy.
Get back on this radio and save these clowns. They're sinking Kate without you. Get back.
Hey, Softy, you know Ohtani's a two-way player, right? I get it.
I understand that. There's nothing that you guys can say that's going to pull me down to the gutter with the two of you. Actually, it's more your co-host than you, Bonta. I'm totally cool with you, but the guy next to you, I actually swear to God, I imagine him wearing clown makeup as we speak right now. Does he come to work with a freak with his face painted? Does he come
take
to
out
work
the
with
hair
a clown nose
plugs
on every morning? Is that what he does?
Take out the hair plug, Softy. Come on, man. Come on. You know you're up there dreading today's show saying, I got to talk baseball because I can't talk about the sorry-ass defense you got up there in Seattle. Ken Norton Jr., Pete Carroll, the defensive geniuses, they can't stop a nosebleed. You let Kirk Cousins carve you up. Kirk Cousins. And now when you come to Levi Stadium, you realize the season's over. So now this weekend, the Mariners season's going to be over and the Seahawks season's going to be over. What the hell are you guys going to do up there in Seattle with no basketball for the next rest of the year?
Bonta, listen, man. You don't have to do this, all right? I know you're a sweetheart of a guy. You don't have to drag yourself down with the clown next to you. You just don't. I mean, it just doesn't fit your personality. You're a great dude. Everyone loves you. Bonta's the life of the party. If you say a bad word about Bonta, you're going to get run out of town. This isn't you. Don't try to be somebody you're not.
I couldn't hear you through the three World Series championships you have.
Be the sweetheart of a guy that you are that everybody loves. It's not your nature.
Hey, you know what, Softy? I'm just going to take the rest of the segment off because I'm like Steph Curry in the fourth quarter. I slaughtered you through three, and you really have had no counter jab, dude. It's kind of sad, dude.
Because what am I going to say to you? I mean, the counter jabs. What the hell is this? What are we, 16 years old in a freaking elementary school parking lot? What the hell are caller jabs? How old are you, for God's sake?
Hey, Softy.
How old are you?
Hey, Softy.
I'm almost 40.
Softy, you guys going to win this football game on Sunday? You guys winning this football? What the hell is going on with Russ up there?
14.
Is this it for Russ up there? No, serious question. Because we know about all the trade rumors last year with Russell Wilson.
He's rattled.
Is this it? Is this it for Softy?
Is this it for Russ?
I mean, Rusty. Yeah, Russ. Almost said Softy.
It's definitely going to be it for me after this show. Are you kidding me? Absolutely. You know what? If they roll out, honestly, I don't know, give me a number, a 7-10 type year, whatever, 8-9, offense struggles, and yeah, I mean, it could very much be it for Russell Wilson, dude. I mean, he's the one that opened that door, right, with the Dan Patrick conversation. So any talk about Russell Wilson being unhappy or dissatisfied or disenfranchised, you can blame him for kind of lighting that fire. So I just think this. I think for the first time in Russell Wilson's career in the last year and a half, couple years, you got a guy who was willing to speak his mind. You got a guy who doesn't appear at times to be on the same page as his head coach. You know, we saw that last week when, Pete Carroll came out and said he would have loved for Russell to maybe been a little more patient, maybe taken some checkdowns in overtime of the Titan game. And Russell Wilson basically responds and says, yeah, okay, whatever. I know how to do this. I know what I'm doing. I'm not going to change who I am. And that's a little bit different. It's a very much different approach for Russell Wilson than what we were used to the first 8 or 9 years.
All right, I got another serious question for you because
you do not have any serious questions.
We know that Russ is probably done.
You don't even know what a serious question is.
Well, it's a good thing that I came prepared. My wife actually cut up some stuff, and we're on YouTube today and on Twitch, and I've got some orange slices for you because after you're one and done in that wild card game, you might want to hand out some orange slices, my friend, because you won't see the playoffs for maybe a decade, like in the entire city. Because once Russ leaves, once you lose this wild card game, you're not going to have much. I mean, seriously.
I don't even know where to go with this. I mean, this is like two 4-year-olds just throwing water weenies at each other, two bums fighting over a nickel. I mean, I don't know what you're trying to do here with this, but you sound like an idiot. You sound like you're 11 years old.
Not the first
Honestly,
time.
Counter punches. You're not going to make the playoffs in 10 years. Yeah, suck it. Starbucks sucks. Blah. I mean, honestly, listen to yourself.
You guys got
listen to yourself.
At home by
you
Aaron
sound like
Donald
the kind of guy that goes
and a
on a
backup
message board under
quarterback.
some crazy assumed name and just starts taking shots at people. Is that what you do?
Oh man, Softy here on 95.7
I'm getting ready to coach a volleyball game this weekend, Softy. I'm very, I'm a good guy in the community. One day maybe you can look it up and figure out how to do the same.
You and me, we can ride together, big man.
Softy here on the Morning Roast on 95.7 The Game. The Seahawks week. They're coming down to Levi Stadium. Russell Wilson 14-4 against the 49ers. Real quick before we get you out of here, Softy.
Big L to Nick Mullins in the rain. Big L.
Big L. But here's the thing, Softy. Is this still a rivalry up there? Because we were talking about this week. Like for Niner fans, they're starting to say, it's really a rival with Russell Wilson and Pete Carroll since the Legion of Boom is gone. How's it up there? Is the Rams now the number one? Are they public enemy number one? Is the Cardinals public enemy? How are Seahawks fans feeling about the Niners these days?
Well, honestly, I think things are so toxic right now in some ways with the Seahawks that there's almost like not enough room for any disdain for anybody else, I mean, you guys went through that, right? Last couple of years, the Niners were having some rough times, and did you really at that point have it even in your gut to give a damn about what was happening in Seattle, Arizona, or Los Angeles? No, you were so concerned about the quarterback position, the head coach, whatever, blah, 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 that's where the focus is at. So, I mean, yes, the Seahawks and Niners will always be a rivalry. There's no question about that. I don't know if it's ever going to get to where it was when Jim Harbaugh was there because there was something between Jim Harbaugh and Pete Carroll that made that rivalry obviously, a little colorful. So that's what really irritates me is that Jim Harbaugh blew this. I mean, Jim Harbaugh had this thing on the right track, and he was moving forward, and that was a young football team that had a great future, and then boom, it just all fell apart. So there was a real chance and I'm telling you, man, like a Woody Hayes, Bo Schembechler type thing for like a decade between Jim Harbaugh and Pete Carroll, and frankly, the Niners just kind of blew it because things fell apart with Jim Harbaugh. So, I mean, it's a rivalry, but right now, man, there's just so much focus on what's gone wrong in Seattle, which we didn't even talk about because your clown co-host there would rather talk about counter punches on the radio show. But there's a lot going on in Seattle that's not good right now, man, a lot.
It's a really good point, Flaccid, Pinky, Softy, whatever your name is, with that 1970s
reference. For
God's
sakes, do better. You can do better.
What's going on with Pete, man? Is he about done? Is the Marin County boy about done? I mean, because it feels like it. Trading a zillion picks for a weak outside linebacker who doesn't play safety and can only, pass rush. Feels like that defense is about cooked.
Well, it wasn't a zillion. It was only 2 first-rounders. Let's not exaggerate. There was a third, though, in there, so it could be 3. Yeah, I think as long as Russell Wilson's here, Pete Carroll's going to be here. But, if Russell Wilson walks in the next year and a half or 2 years, then I think at some point Pete Carroll's going to step aside. I mean, he's pushing 70 years old. I think at some point Pete probably steps up and is a part of the ownership group in Seattle, if not maybe a bigger role in the front office. I just don't know if he ever entirely leaves the organization, to be honest with you. But, yeah, I mean, the guy's had a hell of a run, man, in Seattle. He's the all-time winningest coach in Seahawks history, been to a couple of Super Bowls, won a championship, playoffs almost every single year. He's totally reinvented everything this franchise is all about, brought some of the greatest players to town, so his legacy is secure, but it's hard to do it a second time, right? It's hard to rebuild a second time and do it. Not many coaches can do it with the same team. Belichick did it, obviously, with Brady, but outside of that, it hasn't happened very often, so I think Pete Carroll is absolutely on his last legs.
Yeah,
no question.
Our coach, everybody has that hat, that flat brimmed hat, and some people hate it, some people love it. He's got a lot of drip, a lot of swag. You're not sure what that is. It's like cool style for the kids. Are you rocking the Air Monarchs with Pete Carroll on the sideline? Because you're, what are you, 80, 90 years old now?
No, my wife actually works for a shoe company called Brooks Running Shoes. I'm not sure if you guys have
that's the whitest thing ever said on the show.
Northern California, so we get free shoes in the family. So I gotta rock the Brooks brand. I gotta rock the Brooks brand.
That is the whitest thing we've ever heard.
Nike is a 4-letter word, by the way, up here as well, for a lot of reasons. Just the connection to Oregon, but also the fact that my wife works for a rival shoe company. So Bonta knows what it's like.
Hey, look, Softy. Seahawks and Niners may not be the biggest rivalry on the West Coast anymore. The biggest rivalry on the West Coast is Dave Softy Mahler and Joe Shasky the Butcher. It was a lot of fun. We'll do it again soon.
I won again.
All right, guys. See ya.
All right, Softy. He's exasperated.
His move is to just yell over.
Dude, I was like, man, they get in there, man. I don't know if we could do that again. I don't know. What you think, Langford? I mean, man, that was heat. I think the text line enjoyed it.
I think I slandered him with at least 7 or 8 jabs.
You did well, my friend.
Did I get the W?
No.
What?
Softy was great, man. He was awesome.
Ooh-wee.
My own teammates don't got my back. I see how it is.
Bad. Curly. Where's Curly at? Curly, get on the microphone. Producer John Curly, where you at?
Joe, I give you the win, buddy. I think you got him. You got him good.
I mean, the dude is saying that he wears Brooks's. I've never even heard of these things.
I have heard of Brooks.
Yeah?
Yeah, Brooks shoes?
Yeah?
I've heard of Brooks.
No, I have not.
You would never wear Brooks. I would never wear
Yeah,
Brooks.
that's what I'm
But, it's free shoes.
I mean, come on.
Get away with it.
Come on.
888-957-9570. Man. 707. I'm not going to read these texts. What's the text line, Phil? I think you held your own, Shasky. Honestly, if I was a crooked judge in boxing, I call it a draw. Softy's good, though. He was prepared. Softy's good. He's got some good counters. He's got some good comebacks.
He's just hating. And you tried to step in. I think you kind of stole my shine, to be honest with you, this morning. I said either I'm in or you're in. It's not both.
Oh, whoa. As the 408 says, Bonta held his own, no lie. I always do. I'm undefeated. You don't even have to say anything. It's just direct. You see the record. There's no else. But here's what I try to do, Shasky, because I remember the last time with Kate, when Kate was on the show.
That's the only joke he had. Come on, man.
No, but you know what? Kate, last time both you and Kate said, Bonta, you left your boy out there high and dry. You guys were mad at me for not stepping in battling Softy. You were mad at me for leaving you out there by yourself. So you know what I did? Like the brother I am, I stepped in and I had your back. I was not going to let Softy come on these airways and do you like that.
But this is what he does. This is what he does. And then I start to go in, and then he raps, and then I have to back off because I'm trying to be, I'm trying to put out good radio.
That's where the board up has to. That's where the board up has to.
He's over there, feeling Softy over there.
What do you think I've been doing the entire time? He had a lot more to say while you guys were going on. It was great hearing him in the queue back here.
Well, I mean, the guy is just blowhard. I mean, he came with a Bo Schembechler reference. Our boss loved it, but our boss is like 70. I mean, he's stuck in the 70s.
Wow.
Guru would have liked it. He loves the 70s.
So
Bro, it's 2021. Bo Schembechler. I mean, are you kidding me? Half our audience has no idea what we're talking about.
Dude, That's 2 drive-bys on Matt Nahigian, our program director, and Daryl the Guru Johnson, who's coming up at 10 o'clock. You didn't have to do that to those 2 guys. You aged those dudes. That was unnecessary. It was a good comparison. Bo Schembechler, and Woody Hayes.
Yeah.
I mean, gosh, 408's right. I was the big bro looking out for you.
Oh,
you
yeah?
can't even acknowledge that. Now you said, I stole your shine. Eddie and Vallejo, what's happening? You've been on hold for a while. Get on here. Eddie, what's happening?
Who won?
Hey, guys.
Eddie.
I'm a homegrown guy. You won.
Thank you.
A whole lot of yelling for a whole lot of no reason.
Thank you.
Wow.
You can't deal with the jabs. Get out of the ring.
Thank you. What you got?
What you got, Eddie?
I wanted to know,
Boy.
considering Garoppolo's great health record, what week would you guys put as the no pass? How many games do you need Trey to have before you even give him a shot in the playoffs, assuming we win? Does he got to get in week 8 and week 9? Well, how many games does he got to get under his thing before you just look at him and say, maybe he can't get in the playoffs, or he's only like 2 games in, you're like, we're out? Where are you guys at with that?
I know this. I know, like I told Softy, I saw a guy who's never played a dang snap go up into Seattle and look good when Jared Goff got hurt in that game. It can happen. You could come out of nowhere and play well in a singular game. Winning back-to-back weeks, that feels like a stretch. He's got to get at least a half dozen starts, B.
Man,
at
he
least.
does.
You're smiling over there. What's going on?
The text line's just, they can't get over the Softy interview.
How?
Man. He did take some. He didn't have to call you a clown and an idiot.
Well, that's all you got.
That was strong.
How old are you? 12?
That was strong.
Come on.
That was strong. You kept it composed. You did.
Yeah.
You did. Did Softy come in here and shake the station? Somebody on Twitter said, hell no, I didn't. He didn't shake us. We still here. We ain't going nowhere.
I gave a Jimmy Garoppolo performance. I was a little, helter-skelter, scattershot early.
Yeah.
But when the clutch drive needed to be made, your boy came in with 4 consecutive jokes at the end, and he was rerunning material from the first half, and I was ready for it.
I needed you to be the Joe Montana from the start. I needed you to be the Montana from the start.
Montana threw 3 interceptions in the NFC Championship game in 1981. I'm not sure if you know this. But when push came to shove, he drove down and won.
He also threw no interceptions during his last Super Bowl run when they beat the Vikings 55-10. He was flawless that postseason.
I hit him with the Air Monarchs joke. I hit him with
that was good.
I hit him with coffee jokes. I hit him with you don't see no sun jokes.
That was good. That was good. 888-957-9570. Mike Holmgren.
You're just soaking into the comments right now.
I'm just like, man, this is wild. You want to get into Draymond before we get to Mike Holmgren?
Give it to me.
Mike Holmgren's going to join us at 9:10. And he's going to talk about the quarterback position.
Okay.
About what's going on with Jimmy Garoppolo. And what's going on with the 49ers. And Mike Holmgren was a guy who was a GM and a head coach at the same time. And it's a tough job to do. And it feels like Shanahan does have final say on what's going on with the 49ers. 5 minutes. Holmgren in 5 minutes. 5 minutes. I saw 10 minutes in the box, but maybe it was sitting up there for a while. Mike Holmgren in 5 minutes, top of the hour. So Jimmy, let's stay on Jimmy. We'll get to Draymond after Mike Holmgren. But here's what Jimmy Garoppolo said about the turnovers last week. Turnovers this season, all right? Where's my mouse? Why is my mouse not working?
We are rolling after this interview. This is incredible.
No, my mouse is literally just froze out. Langford, play the cut about needing to limit turnovers.
The turnovers, obviously, got to eliminate those. But just the way we battled in the second half, gave ourselves a chance at the end. But it's as an offense, you don't want to have to do that. Drive down at the end of the game and be in that situation. We would have liked to perform better in the first half, but there was a lot of positives to take out of that. So there's good and bad that you take from it.
Jimmy G was asked if it's fair to see what he does on social media. Go ahead, play it, Langford.
One criticism of your game is that you maybe don't challenge defenses vertically or to the boundary as much as you possibly could. Do you think that's a fair criticism?
No. I mean, I just go with the play that's given. I think we've stretched him pretty well, in some different aspects. But just whatever play's called, I'll go out there and execute it.
Wow. This says it's not fair, and he doesn't care. It's unfair, the criticism.
Well, I mean, doesn't it kind of go with the position?
Yeah, I'm with you.
I mean,
I'm with you.
Doesn't it go with the position? Like, I understand that people get all excited and whatnot when people praise or rip Jimmy Garoppolo. Doesn't that come with the position? That's why the position's so highly scrutinized, so highly compensated, and why the position gets so much of the credit and the blame when there's wins and losses.
Yeah.
I got no problem with how we talk about Jimmy Garoppolo.
It's fair.
It is.
It's fair. It comes with the position. Everybody's going to get it. No, I'm with you.
Look at Trevor Lawrence right now. Look what he's going through right now. I think Trevor looked good last night.
Right.
All right? I think he's in a really bad situation. Yep. And a lot of people are, this is the most losses he's ever had in his career. It's his first 4 games ever. I think he's looked pretty good.
I thought he's gotten better and better each week.
But don't you think the criticism and the praise, it just comes with the position?
No doubt. No doubt about it. Lastly, Jimmy Garoppolo on the clock management shenanigans from last week.
As an offense, you're trying to score. And so, to do that in the final, 30 seconds or so, that's what we were trying to do. Hindsight 2020, we'll have loved to run it down to 1 second. But you're towing that line of, you got them on their heels. We were going with some tempo. It's a tough line to play with. But, I wish I would have let some time run off the clock. Wish Juice would have got tackled at the 1. But, it is what it is. That's why we play the game.
See, this is bothering me now. That's bothering me. I was hoping Juice got tackled at the 1. Wait, you make a play. You go make a play to score. Every play you run, you want to score. You want to get yards. That's unacceptable. It's unacceptable what I'm hearing from Santa Clara on the clock management. The fact that Aaron Rodgers touched the football again is unacceptable. And you had a chance to be 3-0. You had a chance to be 3-0. And forget all the narratives or whatever about that. I don't care about narratives. The fact that you had a chance to be 3-0, and that's your answer to the clock management, I should have done it. But I also wish Juice would have got tackled at the 1. Like, stop.
Well, to me, the bigger issue is guys, were we even thinking about this? Was this even? I get it. We want to prioritize scoring. I understand all that. The clock factors into every decision that you're making on the field, whether you're throwing on. Like, how many times have we seen Brady? And I get it. Brady is the ultimate. He's the GOAT. He's the unicorn. He's all these things. But if you're going to say, he stood by the feet of Brady, dog, were you watching him in the quote-unquote move the ball drill? Did you watch him and how he works the clock to perfection every single time? Brady never leaves too much time for the opponent. Brady never, ever, ever leaves a game where they're going to lose without using his timeouts perfectly.
No doubt.
Perfectly.
No doubt.
Right?
No doubt.
Aaron Rodgers, for all the things that we get, we criticize him for, that 4th down decision, not going for it, whatever. They had the timeouts in the back pocket. Yep. Why? Because they knew that they needed them on defense to stop them, and their defense obviously couldn't get the stop. But, all the greats do this. All the greats.
All the greats.
I'm watching Joe Burrow execute 2-minute drills, and I'm saying, damn, he's just got it. Burrow's just got it.
Did you see Burrow run that? He ran that drill.
I couldn't believe it.
I mean, he was an empty. And he was happy about being an empty 5 wide.
Second year.
And second year in the league.
Second year
in the league.
Off of a major knee injury.
And there was no doubt. I was like, look, I know it's the Jacksonville Jaguars.
It doesn't matter.
But it's just the way you orchestrated 2-minute drill.
Exactly.
It's the way you orchestrated the drill, which was textbook. And Jimmy, for whatever reasons, I will say this right now. And this is why I was like, Trey Lance is the best quarterback in Santa Clara. You see the way Trey Lance ran the 2-minute drill in preseason? And people are going to come down my road and say, oh, it's preseason, Bonte, it's practice. Did you see the way he ran the 2-minute drill? It already looked better than what Jimmy does in the 2-minute drill.
So, why does this happen? Why does this keep happening?
I don't know why it's happening. Is it the quarterback or is it on Kyle?
I think it's on the quarterback at some point. The coach can only do so much. The quarterback's got to know, and they've got to be on the same page. And don't you go through these in practice? Aren't you going through some of these situational spots? Game management is about situational football. Mm-hmm. It's about understanding down and distance, where you are on the field, how your team's playing on a given day, where you're at. Would Brady have? I keep going back to Brady because of yesterday. But Brady?
Even Russ with the 2-minute drill.
But would anyone have given somebody that extra time?
No.
They would have drained that thing down. And then I just think it's so weak for everyone. Anyone who says that Juice should have went down at the 1, stop it. You call hike, you get thrown the ball, you're trying to score 9 times out of 10. Now, if they only needed a field goal, I'll listen to that, okay? Because then you're down at the 1, like Brian Westbrook, you're going to ice the game out like he did in Philadelphia. That's incredible wherewithal and understanding. You needed 6, not 3. You couldn't just sit on the ball and wait and kick a field goal and win.
You are listening to 95.7 The Game, KGMZ, FM, and HD1 San Francisco, and Odyssey Station. This is the Morning Roast. Joe Shasky, the Butcher, Bonte Hill, here on a Friday morning. Giants up 2 games on the Dodgers in the NL West. We'll get to some Draymond sound after our next guest, Mike Holmgren, longtime head coach in the NFL with the Seattle Seahawks. Of course, longtime assistant with the 49ers. He's got Super Bowl rings. He even has a national championship as a player, and he's a city native. Mike, good morning. Good to have you back on.
Hey, good to talk to you guys.
Hey, Mike, I got to get right in here. I'm sorry, Bonte. There are rumors that you used to hang out over at Fahey's Bar with my man Pat Murphy, putting a couple back in the day over there on 24th and Terraville. Do you remember those old days?
Yeah, I sure do. There were a lot of guys, growing up in the city. The city's it's a metropolitan, wonderful city, but it's kind of small in a lot of ways. And we had a group that would go in for a lemonade every once in a while.
With extra sugar and spice, right, Coach?
Right.
We're talking 2-minute drills here.
I love it.
The clock management situation, what happened last Sunday with the San Francisco 49ers. Look, they leave Aaron Rodgers 37 seconds left. Can you explain what you saw there Sunday night with the 49ers 2-minute drill and why it was such a mistake to leave 37 seconds left? Aaron Rodgers should not have touched that ball.
Well, we worked very hard on that, and I know the 49ers do. And if you're in that situation that you want to use every second, if you have the ball in offense and know Aaron Rodgers, if he gets the ball back, or a Tom Brady or a Russell Wilson, those guys are capable of moving the football for a field goal, that you don't want to leave him any extra time if possible. So I'd be in the phone to the quarterback saying, take all the time. Snap the ball, take all the time. And then, if you give it back to them and they have X amount of seconds, maybe a little bit less, you got a better chance to win the football game. But 37 seconds, listen, that's still remarkable. So that's a little bit on the defense too.
Right. No doubt.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Coach, forget the quarterback that they drafted, because we know that's the elephant in the room, and there's just a lot there. Just the relationship between Kyle Shanahan and Jimmy Garoppolo. You're not there every day, but from afar, how would you diagnose this relationship? Because it just feels like, to me, at no point has Kyle wrapped both arms around Jimmy Garoppolo, and it's been to the detriment of both men.
Yeah, it gets tricky. I remember when we drafted Favre or traded for Favre in Green Bay, and Don Majkowski was the quarterback. And Don started the season for us. But anytime you draft a kid in the first round or make a decision, a trade like that, really what you're telling your fans, what you're telling everybody, that at some point, this is our quarterback. Otherwise, you wouldn't have spent the time or the effort or the money, in picking him. So in the meantime, until that happens, the coach and whoever is playing, you got to work that out, and that has to be clear, and you just have to respect each other and make sure that there's no curveballs, that this is how we're going to do it. And, I think when they draft a kid number one, a player number one, that's what you're telling everybody.
Mike Holmgren here on the Morning Roast on 95.7 The Game with Joe Shasky, the Butcher, and Bonte Hill. Coach, when you look at this offense and what Shanahan's trying to do, when you don't have a running back, you see all the injuries to the running back position. The Niners lose Raheem Mostert on the third play of the game, third offensive snap of the game against Detroit. You lose Elijah Mitchell, your 6th-round pick. Trey Sermon is not used to running behind a fullback as he played the gun at Ohio State. How do you rectify that situation? How do you try to churn out a consistent running game when you're dropping bodies left and right at the running back spot?
Well, it's hard. I mean, I'm stating the obvious, but I can remember going in when we weren't running the ball a lick in Seattle. And I remember at a press conference going in and said, we're not running it. We can't run it. We're going to throw it. And doggone it, if I didn't, we just figured out a way to turn, and I got this from Bill Walsh, turn what would normally be a running type of situation into a short pass that got you the same yards if you're injured, or if it's not working, you got to go to plan B. And I think when you have injuries, it's tough, but you got to come up with something that'll move the football for you.
And so what happens when you've had a couple of weeks of just no offense in the first half? You know, we know scripting the first 15 plays. You were part of the genesis of that. Like everyone now in the league scripts the first 15 plays, and things can throw you off kilter. But these first halves for the Niners, back-to-back weeks, they've just been really difficult. When you're in a rut like this, how do you come out and execute in the first half of the following week?
Well, that's a problem, because if you believe in scripting the first 15 plays, there's a reason you pick those 15 plays. And if sometimes, you know, because of good defense or something, it doesn't just work. So then you have to decide, you know, is it because of the play, or we're just not executing, or what is it? And then don't be stubborn about it. You know, I mean, I would do that too. You know, all of a sudden we the first 15, and after the first drive or something, the first 2 drives, it's not working. I said, I'm off the script. And the guys upstairs go, wait, we worked on that 15. Don't do it. I said, we're off the script. Start writing things down, you know. So you have to be willing to adjust to that, because you got to move the football, particularly in the first half.
How fickle are our wide receivers, Coach? Because, you know, it always gets labeled as a diva position. There's divas at the wide receiver position. Now, you know, Brandon Ayuk is, quote-unquote, been in the doghouse. He's been slow to get implemented in the offense. How did you deal with wide receivers, that position group? Because, yeah, I know they could be flashy. They could be, you know, they want the ball in their heads, which you want from a wide receiver. But how do you get a young guy to catch up to speed and get his confidence up when he hasn't been part of the game plan for the first 3 weeks?
Well, that's a challenge. But, you know, you say – I had the good fortune of being with Jerry Rice and some of these other guys,
John Taylor,
guys with the 49ers. Yeah. And invariably, if we'd have a game, Jerry'd come into my office on Monday and say, Mike, I'm not getting the ball enough. He wouldn't do it during the game. He goes, and I did the same thing with Sterling Sharp. You got thoroughbreds that want the football. If you got young guys that want it, but then they got to show you they deserve it. And so then you have that talk with them too. Listen, show me, and you'll get the ball. Just understand, I want you to get the ball. So just hang in there with me and bear down and work very, very hard to be like Jerry Rice, to be like this guy. And then you have that serious talk with him.
Coach, how do you balance trying to get the rookie some looks here? We saw him come in for a couple of plays last week. He didn't play at all in week 2. Played a little bit in week 1. How do you balance that as a head coach?
Well, if he's the guy, it wouldn't be a rookie so much. I wouldn't say, okay, we're going to ease him into it because he's a rookie. What's he doing in practice? How is he responding to what the coaching or the scheme? Is he catching footballs? Is he dropping balls? You know, you got to look at that stuff. You know, I used to get the receivers together. Listen, I said, your job is to catch the ball. If you can't catch the ball, you play defensive back. I'll move you over there.
No, I meant more the quarterback. I apologize. I meant Trey Lance, the quarterback.
Oh, with Trey Lance.
Yeah.
Okay, I think that, you know, Trey Lance, it's what your plan is. I think if they win games with Jimmy and keep winning games, then Trey's not going to see the field too much. If they have a little package for Trey in the game, then that's okay. But you can't be off balance. Listen, I go back to Coach Walsh and when we had Steve and Joe Montana. Now they weren't rookies, but he played them both, and we got a little off balance because of that. You have to commit to one of them, and if he gets it done, you stay with him, and then the other guy, knowing the other guy's time will come. But if the starter, if it's not working, then you're going to see the other guy has to be ready to play.
Mike Holmgren here on 95.7 The Game. Should be in the Hall of Fame, of course. Super Bowl champ, national champ, longtime offensive coordinator with the 49ers, longtime Green Bay Packer and Seattle Seahawks head coach here on the Morning Roast. You know, Coach, I'm thinking about that, and I'm with you. If I'm on the team, and I haven't played since high school football, but it feels like you got to have one quarterback. You know, the whole flipping and flopping at that position just doesn't feel right. You do get out of rhythm there. But how do you navigate around the injuries this team is now starting to suffer? Because that's been the theme here the last 2 seasons with the 49ers. Secondary, offensive line, running backs. How did you as a coach try to navigate around injuries? And at one point, did you just run out of talent and not win football games?
Yeah, no, it's hard. I mean, I'm just stating the obvious here, but my last year in Seattle, we wound up being 4-12, and we lost more. We probably of our 22 starters, we lost 18 of them. I mean, it was ridiculous. It was the worst injury situation I'd ever. And you just keep talking, bearing down. You listen, we're going to challenge. We played a lot of close football games, but we did not have enough good players to win. And so there's no easy answer for that. It's just that the players keep believing whoever is available to play. Those guys have to step up and play their hearts out, and you might eke out a couple wins. But it's in this league, in this division, and you guys know this as well as I do. This is a tough division right now. If you're hurt, it's going to be tough.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. Coach, I'm looking around the league, and the old guys are playing great. Matt Stafford in a new location. Tom Brady obviously wins the Super Bowl last year. Aaron Rodgers, dominant. And then all these young guys are coming up and showing so much promise. Have you ever seen the league from a quarterback position be this dynamic and this deep across the board?
Well, no. I think it's a time every once in a while in the last few years, you just have a draft class that comes in, like going all the way back to Marino's draft class or Elway's or those guys, and you say, okay, this is going to be a special group for a long time. That's the feeling you get right now. Now, the young guys who got drafted are getting the stuffings knocked out of them for the most part right now. And so you just pray that they don't get hurt and they don't get screwed up in the mind because they're getting knocked around. But there's a lot of talent, young talent in the league at that position, and it bodes well for the league, I think, for years to come.
Coach, always a pleasure talking to you. We got to do this again later in the season. We'll see what happens at the quarterback spot with the 49ers. Big game for them on Sunday against Seattle.
Yeah, and Coach, if you're back in town, it's not Fahey's anymore. It was transitioned into the Dragon Lounge. Now it's Carl's Beacon. Maybe you and I can go get a lemonade at Carl's Beacon one of these days.
Well, I'm trying to back off on my lemonade. I'm trying to back off on that.
That's smart. That's smart. That's
we
smart.
Missed you, Coach. Thanks for coming on.
All right, guys.
You're the best.
See you later. Mike Holmgren here on the Morning Roast, and I'm thinking about this game against Seattle.
What a palate cleanser from Softy.
Yeah, no, I mean, oof. You just had to bring that up. Langford, I'm not even going to go there. Seattle. And I'm looking at this defense, and I'm saying, okay, Trey Sermon's going to play running back. Trey Sermon's going to play running back for the Niners. We'll see about Cannon, who had a great kickoff return last week. The Niners' best way to attack Seattle is running the football, and I wonder how they're going to do that. Last week, Madison ran for 112 yards against the Seattle defense.
Okay.
The week before, Derrick Henry, ran all over Seattle's defense in the second half of that football game. That is a weak spot, no doubt. Now, if you miss George Kittle, not only do you lose a great pass catcher, but you lose one of your best run blockers, especially on the edge where you want to run the zone read. In order to win this football game, somehow, some way, look, we know Shanahan wants to get the attempts up to 30 times a game, right? But somehow, some way, they've got to figure out a way to run the football because Seattle's run defense is the weak spot. Mm-hmm. It is the weak spot of this defense. If you can run the football, think about how much easier this game is going to be for Jimmy Garoppolo off the play action pass. Even without George Kittle, you're going to Brandon Ayuk and Deebo Samuel. Running the football against Seattle, they cannot stop the run. They can't stop it. So how do you do it? How do you do it with Trey Sermon?
I think you got to put him in more gun run situations, B. I think you're going to have to act, obviously, like Holmgren said, which is what I told you last week. I want to see them throw early in the game and not try to just, stubbornly run the ball in when it's not working.
Right.
Their O-line got dominated last week. So I hope that they step up and play a better game collectively this week. But also, I think some of the formations and some of the times where you're running, like maybe you got to throw early in the down to set up the run later on in the game. I think that's going to be something. And use some of these short, controlled passes in the smoke screens. Stop doing the jet sweeps left and right. Get the ball going upfield. Like, that's a big thing for me. And I think gun runs. The problem with the gun run with Jimmy Garoppolo, he's just not a threat to hold it and run and keep it. So teams are still going to key on that running back. So you just got to get a little more creative. You're going to have to find ways to get some pop plays. And if that means that Sermon's not the guy and you got to go to somebody else, well, then maybe you got to pull the Canyon card because he's got some juice.
He does have some juice. And one thing Minnesota did last week against Seattle when I was watching that game back is early on, they had a lot of checkdowns. And they just gave Seattle a lot of paper cuts. Paper cut, paper cut, paper cut. 8-yard check down, 7-yard check down, 5-yard check down, 6-yard check down. And they ran a lot of screen passes early on just to get their guys out in space because Seattle's not the best tackling team right now. But if you get the short passing game going on, which everybody knows Jimmy Garoppolo loves it. He loves it. But also running the football and getting your backs in space, getting your playmakers in space. That destroyed Seattle last week. So Minnesota had a great game plan. They came out, they were down 17-7. They came all the way back there in that second quarter, and they dominated the second half. Look, Seattle cannot stop the run. They cannot stop the run. I'm telling you that right now. You got to figure out a way to run the football and just get Jimmy in a rhythm. Kirk Cousins got in a rhythm last week where he's 30 for 38, and he's just, boom, check down here, check down there, check down here, and they held the ball. That's one thing. That's one other thing. One more thing here, time of possession. Time of possession. Minnesota had the ball for 35 minutes last week. Keeping Russ off the football field is going to help your defense that's beat up right now.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. There's no doubt about it. They're going to need to hold on to the ball. And that's where I think the balance in the last two first halves, last 2 weeks, it just hasn't been there. I felt like the defense has been on the field a lot. Now in the second half, that's flipped. But all that attrition of being out on the field, having to make tackles, having to make plays, standing out there, it does wear on you. So they need to be more balanced early on. I'm totally with you on that. And they need to tackle in the open field. DK Metcalf has destroyed them.
He has.
And so has Tyler Lockett with yards after the catch.
Yep.
He's ran through this secondary like a hot knife through butter. B, it's a Friday, and I want to have a little fun after everyone claiming that I got bodied by Softy, and we had a great conversation with Mike Holmgren. Pandora's Box we do every Thursday.
Right.
And we kind of go down I'm going to be honest, the white guy rabbit hole, right? Where we're playing a bunch of old music. So I want to have a little fun on a Flashback Friday. I'm going to play a beat, and I want to know if you can recognize the song. Is this a great song in Bay Area rap history? Give it to me right now.
Well, with the freaks of the industry.
What do we got?
It's a high school classic.
Yeah.
Digital Underground, Freaks of the Industry, Shock G, Tupac Shakur. And what this song reminds me of is every house party I ever went to as a kid.
Really?
Every house party had this song. And it was the one song that everybody, I didn't DJ, but I was the guy who would play the music. And all the time, the biggest requested song at every single house party was Freaks in the Industry.
Released in 1990 off the Sex Packets album. This is a classic, B. Shock G, Money B. It's one of the great ones of all time. The storytelling. Shock G, there's no Mac Dre without Shock G. The split personalities, turning into the Humpty. He's obviously the generator of the Humpty dance, things like that. And obviously Tupac Shakur got his start with Digital Underground as a backup dancer and eventually getting his first ever verse. I think Digital Underground is a stepping stone in musical history for the Bay Area when it comes to rap and things like that, but also across the country.
Yep, no doubt. Nah, this song is a trend-setting song. Like I said, every house party. Because that's not one of those songs you just pop in your car and you just bump, right?
No.
You're not driving down the street. You're not driving down Mission. You're not driving down Fillmore. You're not driving down Golden Gate like, oh, man, Freaks in the Industry, and you got your hands out the car. But at a house party, it got the women going.
It did.
That was the key to the song. The women love the song. So you got to play with the ladies like at the parties because you get them in a good mood. It's the life of the party, man. The women, they make the party.
Yeah, and all I keep thinking about is Tupac and his I Get Around video with him and Shock G and Money B dancing around in the Oakland Hills.
408's right. It was a mandatory house party song.
Yep.
Mandatory.
It's unbelievable. And just the beginning beat, dun, 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 dun. And rest in peace to Shock G. He had a big-time influence on so many different artists.
No doubt.
Just real good. I want to do something fun on Friday. Have a little flashback, play a little old school music.
I like that flashback.
You like that?
I like that
and
flashback.
Look, you went instantly into it. Now, Steven and Curly, they're younger than us. I mean, we're going way back on this. This is almost 30-something years old. All right? I mean, this ain't Bo Schembechler, but it's pretty old. You know this song, right?
Yeah, so the first time I heard of Digital Underground and Shock G and everybody was actually on the song called E40 by E40, which was titled E, and then it was Forty.
Oh.
It was off of his, what was it, the Graveyard Shift? I think it was off of those series of albums.
Revenue Retrieving.
Yeah, but at the beginning, he has Shock G on, and he says to E40, you are what I was when I was with Digital Underground. So then that led me to listening to Digital Underground, and that was back in college, 10, 11 years ago.
Wow.
So that's how I got to know them.
Yeah, it's just a classic. You don't hear it often. I wanted to start there and do something a little fun. A little Freaks of the Industry. Who's the freak right now on the 49ers, Bonte. If I were to say to you, there's a freak athlete, who is the freak of his particular positional industry right now?
Nick Bosa.
I'm going to go in a different
Warner Jr.
direction.
Where are you going?
I think it's Trent Williams.
Wow.
To me, it's Trent Williams. He's built unlike anyone else out there, and he's the guy I'm looking at. He's had great weeks, every single week.
I don't think he's given up a sack.
Yeah, but I need him to be continuing his pace of dominance.
No doubt.
Because the rest of this offensive line feels very hit and miss.
Again, Seattle's defense ranks last in the league, giving up 440 yards per game. 440 yards per game. Ken Norton is the defensive coordinator. Minnesota and Tennessee had their way against the Seahawks, especially in the second half. Seattle's offense comes out hot. They're averaging about 20.7 points per game in the first half. They've been shut out in every single third quarter this season. They come out at halftime, and the offense shuts down. The offense shuts down. They're averaging just over 4 points per game in the second half. So you got to not only slow down Seattle early on, but you got to keep your foot on the pedal and run it down their throats. Again, defensively, they stink. Their corners, average. Trey Flowers can get picked on. Brandon Ayuk and Deebo Samuel have the advantage outside. But running the football and running behind Trent Williams, running behind Lincoln Tomlinson, running behind Alex Mack and Mike McGlinchey. And you know what? You got to get Brunskill going. You got to get him some confidence against a defense like this.
Better. Like, to me, it's Alex Mack. He's the center. Like, it's so important for this team. When Weston Richburg wasn't out there, it just wasn't the same offense a couple of years ago. So they got to get Alex Mack going.
Look, a lot of people saying Juice is the freak. George Kittle's the freak. And by the way, FYI, George Kittle may not play on Sunday. It's not a guarantee. So let me ask you, how do you run the ball against Seattle without George Kittle? He's one of your best blockers in the run game. How do you pass the ball against Seattle without your best wide receiver?
I think you got to use your weapons. And one of your weapons on offense, although not one of your priority weapons right now, is Trey Lance.
Look,
you got to use the guy this weekend. Now, I'm not saying he's got to play the whole game. He's got to get some plays out there where he's throwing and running to keep defenses honest. And I think he can open up the run game. They need a shot in the arm bad.
Minnesota ran the ball without Dalvin Cook. Dalvin Cook didn't play last week.
Well, who's their backup?
Madison.
Yeah, he's not bad.
He's not bad.
He would be. Would he be the number one guy for the Niners right now with all their injuries?
Well, right now, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, no Elijah
because
Mitchell.
You know what? This guy's good in the pass game. Last week, 6 catches, 59 yards out of the backfield. 8 targets out of the backfield. Then he ran the ball for 26 times for 112. I mean, they ran the ball up Seattle's throat. The week before, you look at Seattle trying to stop the run against Tennessee. Well, King Henry had his way, especially in the second half. 35 carries, 182 yards, 3 touchdowns. He ran the ball, and Tannehill threw for over 300. So they had their way against Seattle's defense. The Colts got off to a slow start. Not sure what's going on with them. They tried to run the ball against Seattle. They tried it, but Seattle got off to such a hot start that the Colts were playing from behind, and they basically they aborted their running game. So, look, it's simple against Seattle. It sounds crazy, but it is simple. Get back to running the football.
Yeah.
Run the football. I don't care who's running. There's no more excuses about the running backs. Trey Sermon, Mitchell, Cannon, I don't care. For years, we've always heaped praise on Shanahan by saying he could run with any running back. He's just like his father, Mike. Bobby Turner, the running back coach. They find running backs anywhere. Run the football against Seattle. Keep Russ off the field. It's a simple formula. Beat them up in the trenches, baby. That's how the 49ers win on Sunday against Seattle.
Don't go anywhere. Married to the Game is coming up.
Ooh.
Married to the Game. I got a question for Anna, and it's wrapped around not her football picks for this weekend, the Super Bowl act at halftime.
Interesting.
This is not good radio. We're not going to continue on with this.
Oh, wow. More coming up on a roast.
It's a Football Friday on 95.7 The Game.
Pressure coming. Garoppolo hit as he throws. A wobbler down the sideline, and it's caught. Debo Samuel.
Order now and get it installed with help from Lowe's. Home to any budget, home to any possibility. Install available in-store only and through independent contractors. See Lowe's.com for details and licensing. U.S. only.
I need tech that can make me as productive in my home office as I am at my office.
It's possible with Staples Connect. How about a PC that'll help me get the most out of my day and my budget?
Staples Connect makes it possible with the tools you need to work from anywhere. And now get up to $160 off select PCs, like the Asus VivoBook laptop with Intel Core i5 processor. Explore what's new at your local Staples or staplesconnect.com. Staples Connect, the working and learning store. Ends 10/2, in-store only, limit 2.
Your life, your hopes, and whatever you were searching for at 1:15 a.m., it's really none of our business, and it shouldn't be anyone else's. Protect your privacy online for free with DuckDuckGo. DuckDuckGo. Privacy simplified.
Now, back to the Morning Roast, presented by Timeless Coffee with Bonte and Shasky.
Don't forget to download the Odyssey app and favorite 95.7 The Game to get breaking news updates, as well as links to the top interviews. Tim Kirchin on with DRK yesterday and one of the best moments on the game, powered by DuckDuckGo. Privacy simplified. All around the world, same song. Married to the Game coming up, and I think Michelle has a meeting.
Yeah.
So she's going to text her picks in.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know about that. What's going on? What's going on?
Right now, let's.
Did you when you said that you do all the laundry and you buy everything and you do this and that? Did she just say, you know what? I'm not coming on the show no more?
No. I think she's done 2 weeks. We've done, she's done. She's been on air with us. Okay. Last week we had E40 on, so I think we canceled it.
Yeah.
So anyway, point being, John Curley, let's explain to the audience right now what this is. Married to the Game, if you're just tuning in right now and you haven't heard this, we're going to bring on our significant others, and they're going to pick games. No, we don't pay for people to come out of market and give you our hot picks of the weekend. We're going to have our ladies who don't love sports anywhere as much as we do, just randomly pick games. We go the 49er game, the Sunday Night Football game, and the Monday Night Football game. Mm-hmm. And instead of having a running tab week to week, we're going to do quadrants of the season. So we're going to have 4 sections of the NFL season. And if my wife wins, Bonte has to do some cleanup in my backyard. Okay, that's going to be the first leg of this quadrant. If I win, Bonte has to clean up my dog's poop in my backyard. If Bonte wins, I have to clean a diaper of baby Ches.
Number 2.
And we know that his significant other, Anna, is not real happy with him pawning off his daughter for a bit.
Probably not.
But, Uncle Joe will be there.
Done.
Uncle Joe will be there.
It's got to get done, baby Ches.
So right now, before we bring the ladies in, John Curley, what are the standings right now? We're going to try to do 4 weeks at a time. So right now, this is week 4. This is pivotal. What are the standings right now?
Guys, Michelle's on a hot streak right now. She's 7-1.
Wow.
And Anna needs a huge week, Bonte, because she is 5-3. So this week is absolutely pivotal.
Damn.
Okay, so now do you want me? Let's ask her. Should I read Michelle's?
Read
first
Michelle's
so that
picks.
Anna can try to win and get back. We're going to start from scratch after this week. Is that what we want to do?
Yeah, we'll start from scratch.
Play the opener. Get Anna potted up. Let's do this.
The Morning Roast knows their football.
Can you name 6 of the retired numbers in 49ers history?
Yeah, I can do 6. I'll do it right now. Steve Young, Joe Montana.
I hope you do it right now. We'll do it again.
Dwight Clark, Bob St. Clair. Thank you. Jimmy Johnson, John Henry Johnson, Joe the Jet Perry. Thank you.
But how about their wives?
I don't care what Bonte has to say as long as I get to look at Jimmy Garoppolo for the next year.
It's time for Married to the Game.
May not be looking at Jimmy G for too much longer. May not.
You're the biggest Jimmy G fan out there. All right, so we get these spreads from the BetQL app. That is an app that you can download right now from our company. Bonte, give it to me.
Looking for sports betting content all day long? The BetQL network is now available nationwide on the Odyssey mobile app and website, over 10,000 home and auto-connected devices, and at BetQLnetwork.com. This is wagertainment for every single fan. Morning, afternoon, and night. Betting angles throughout the day. Insights from local and national experts. Entertaining content. to keep both casual and hardcore bettors engaged. Get sports betting tips from the best in the game. BetQL Network streaming now on Odyssey.
Okay, so if spreads are from BetQL, I will give you my wife's picks right now as she's in a meeting, and she's probably mad at me. Seahawks versus the 49ers. 2.5-point spread. My wife is taking the Seahawks.
Wow. Wow.
Wow. She's a smart woman.
Wow.
Smart woman. I don't know what she did marrying me.
Wow.
But, Bucks, 7.5-point favorites.
That's a high spread.
Against the Patriots.
She's taking the Bucks.
At home.
She's taking the Bucks.
She's taking the Pats.
Ooh.
Smart woman.
Ooh.
Smart
Think
woman.
the Pats are going to cover this week?
I think it's going to be some late Mac Jones garbage to get him back in this.
Wow.
I like this from my...
We're on to Cincinnati.
I had no influence on these. These are independent. Trust me.
Right.
Curly will tell you. If I tried to tell her something, she'd just ignore me. All right. Raiders, Chargers. Is that the Monday Night Football game?
That's a Monday Night Football game. It's a good game.
That's a great game.
It's a good game.
I hope the Chargers wear those yellow pants again.
Yeah.
Those are so sick.
Those are so sick.
All right. Raiders,
Baby
Chargers,
blue.
3.5-point spread. My wife, again, is taking the Raiders.
Wow. 3.5 is a lot. That hook for the Chargers. And who trusts the Chargers? The Chargers are always going to charge her.
Yeah. So my wife's 7-1. Anna is what, John Curley?
5-3.
5-3.
So,
all right. Let's bring Anna on in here.
So Michelle took the Seahawks, Patriots, and the Raiders.
So you're either hoping for her to go 0-3, or you're going to have a monster week. Anna, bring you right on in here. A, how are you doing? It's a beautiful Friday. And B,
I'm doing great.
Awesome. B, are you still mad that Bonte is putting your daughter's business all in the street?
Maybe my whole plan is to make him lose.
Oh, wow.
That, you know what? I kind of like that.
Damn.
Before we get into your picks.
I could see that.
This is not your time to talk. You have all week. This is her time to talk.
Okay.
I want to ask you. You're a woman of great taste, and you have great feel for what's hot in the streets these days.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to list off some names. This is the 2022 Super Bowl halftime show that has been announced. Now, my wife lives for the halftime show, so I want to ask you: Kendrick Lamar, Eminem, Mary J. Blige, Snoop, and Dr. Dre. Does that do anything for you?
I mean, they're obviously going some triple OG status. They're not getting any new up and coming, or Beyonce's not on here.
Wow.
I'm not a Kendrick Lamar fan. Otherwise, I think it's a good lineup, and it's going to give me all of the feels for my younger years, for sure.
Yeah, I'm with you. Who would you include?
Kendrick, babe. Again, we go through this all the time. Kendrick Lamar is a great rapper.
Kendrick Lamar is overrated.
Oh,
and if he were put up against the OGs of hip-hop back in the day, the early 90s, 80s, then he would get 8 Alive, period. Wow. He's overrated because he is actually one of the very few artists that is a lyricist nowadays instead of mumble rapping.
Watch the tape, Bonte. She's watching the tape. You're not watching the tape. God, I love you, Anna. Who would you add to this mix for the Super Bowl? We're going to get to your picks in just 1 second from BetQL. Who would you add to this if you could? If you could choose from anyone. I mean, it sounds like you're leaning Beyonce, but who would you add to make this a great halftime show?
Beyonce has been there, done that. I think Doja Cat is up and coming. That would be fun to see. She's very theatrical. I think she would put on a great performance. I think that I'm not a huge Lady Gaga fan, but I think if you put her on that stage, once again, she would give you a huge performance. And I think that I'm more about the visuals of this rather than who is actually there. Does that make any sense?
Yeah, no doubt. What about Shakira J-Lo? Did you enjoy that one?
I did.
Oh, yeah. Everyone did.
Yeah,
I did too.
Let's go back to that
What's the greatest halftime performance of all time? Let's go around the room real quick. Greatest halftime performance of all time.
Janet Jackson, Justin Timberlake, or
Get
Michael
outta here,
Jackson.
you're wrong.
Or
Okay.
Michael Jackson.
Michael Jackson. Okay, what about you, Anna?
Greatest performance of all time. I'm going to say Beyonce. That's my girl.
Oh, at Levi Stadium, stomping and thrusting into the turf that was all tore up that Jed York couldn't get right that time, but now it is good. What about you, Steven?
Yeah.
Favorite halftime performance of all time?
Prince.
That's a good one. That's a really good one. John Curley. John Fogerty did not play the halftime show, so who are you going with, bud? He's laughing. You got to laugh into the microphone.
Dave Matthews Band or something? Did they ever play
That's
the
what I
Super
was
Bowl?
going to say. I was like, when does Dave Matthews Band play?
Oh, my God.
A lot of people, yeah, of course. A lot of people are not happy with the Kendrick Lamar overrated statement.
Oh, I know they're not. And
Oh,
that's
man.
fine. Come see me.
Yeah.
Whoa,
look at this.
whoa.
All right,
Let's relax.
It's her time to talk on the mic. You talk all weekend. You're on TV. Seahawks, Niners. My wife has already picked the Seahawks. Seahawks versus the Niners, 2.5-point spread. Anna, what are you going to roll with?
Y'all know I'm loyal to the soil, and I'm going to stick Niners all day.
Save that drop right there. I love that. So Anna's taking the Niners. Just writing this down. All right. We've got Tom Brady in the greatest return that we've ever seen back to Foxborough against the New England Patriots. A lot of rumors circling around about Kyle Shanahan, 49ers, Tom Brady. But no, he's a Tampa Bay Buck. Bucks, 7.5-point favorites into New England. Who do you got?
I'm going to have to go Bucks.
Ooh.
Let's go, babe. Let's go.
Look at him.
Let's go.
He's so happy.
I like that.
He's so happy. All right. The third game.
Oh, this is a big one.
Yeah, this is huge. The Raiders versus the Chargers. Chargers favored 3.5 points. Anna, Bonte's significant other. Who do you got?
Shasky, what did I tell you from the very beginning?
You're not a Raider fan.
I'm going to go Chargers all the way.
Oh, man.
So we have 3 picks on one side by my wife, 3 picks on the other side. Something's got to give.
Something's got to give.
Either my wife's going 10-1 or something in between that.
Something's got to give.
Something's got to give. You know what? This is like Jeopardy. You get to the end, everyone's throwing their money around. This is pretty good.
Man.
Before you get on out of here, Anna, any parting thoughts on Bonte Hill's viewing habits throughout the week, or maybe some of his tweeting? Last week we found out that he likes to have conference calls with himself before he sends a tweet out, and he likes to verbalize some of the things that he's going to tweet. Any other weird quirks that Bonte does around the house?
Be nice. Be nice.
Why? What are you going to do if I'm not? Well, quirks I don't know about. However, when I ask him to do something, I don't mean 5 minutes from now. I don't mean an hour from now. I mean now. And so we tend to get into little spats about that. Because, I'll ask him to go throw out the trash, and then 5 minutes later, he's still playing Madden. And he's like, I'm watching the baseball game. And I'm like, you're playing Madden. And he's like, it's on my phone. And I'm like, take your phone with you to go throw out the trash then. So
Anna, I love how you told him what you gonna do about that, and he went dead silent. I know who runs stuff in that household now.
No, it's an equal household for sure.
It's a commune.
It's balanced.
It's a balance.
You know what? I respect that. This is where the JD drop's supposed to come in there. I do. I respect that. Anna, thank you very much. This is the best. So many hot takes. I love it. Thank you.
Good job.
I'm rooting for my wife, though. I'm not gonna lie.
Somebody's asking if you got a sister, Anna, and no, you don't have a sister, Zucci, man. I'm not hooking you up with anything. She's an only child, so bye-bye. So, it's married to the game. Again, I got punked like you did by Softy.
Yes.
I got punked. I'm
5-1
not going to
now.
do anything about it. The Kendrick Lamar, overrated. I can't believe her.
What about
top of the morning, top of the morning, top of the morning, top of the morning?
I can't believe she did that.
What
she
is
said
that?
Top of the morning, top of the morning,
Oh,
top
man.
of the morning, top of the morning.
Kendrick hasn't released anything in a while, but this guy, Baby Keem, who's his cousin, released an album, and Kendrick's featured on 2 songs on it, and that's how he starts out his verse.
Top of the morning, top of the morning, top of the morning, top of the morning.
Wow.
That's pretty good.
What was that? What was it Bubba Sparks? Who was that rapper, the white rapper from down south who was with Timberland? That's who that sounded like, just the voice.
Top of the morning, top of the morning, top of the morning,
Oh,
top of the
man.
morning.
Oh, that's interesting. You got anything, any rebuttals now that you've been slandered by your girl? And also, do you have any thoughts on these Super Bowl halftime show?
I love Kendrick Lamar. Matter of fact, when we go out to the game Sunday,
He's got hits.
I'm playing nothing but Kendrick for her. Nothing but Kendrick.
K-Dot.
It's going to drive her crazy.
I thought the J-Rock album actually was way underrated, and he had a couple different features on it.
Well, J-Rock had one of the best albums of the year.
Yeah.
And people slept on that one. That was a great year of music.
Yeah.
It was like album after album getting dropped. They were all good albums. She's going to hear a lot of Kendrick.
Yeah.
It's going to hear a lot of Kendrick.
It's kind of crazy to see 20 years later Eminem and Snoop and Dre be so mainstream.
Yep.
It is kind of. It's still something that I laugh at a little, like seeing Snoop Dogg sell Corona and whatnot and do things with Martha Stewart. It's just, I don't know. I didn't have that in my file.
I'm curious. I do love the idea of it because it's in Inglewood. Yeah. I mean, come on, you're having Snoop, you're having the legends on there.
Totally.
No doubt.
Is it too much? Because you'll notice the theme when you asked us who our favorite halftime shows were. Yeah. You'll notice the theme was we chose one artist.
Yeah,
now we're going to have.
Right.
How are you going to distribute the wealth there?
One of the most
and not even involve Ice Cube. By the way,
I agree with you. One of the most frustrating things about the Atlanta Super Bowl was Big Boy and Andre 3000 weren't out there long enough. Mm-hmm. It pissed me off. I was like, I want to see more of Outkast, because I'm a Outkast fan, for example.
No doubt. And I think when you have a city like Atlanta, dropped the ball. If you're going to go to Atlanta, I not only need Outkast, I need Goody Mob.
Yes.
I need Luda. I need Little John. I need Atlanta flavor.
You only have 17 minutes. It's tough.
But you had other guys, man. I mean, it's bad. It's bad. Real quick before we end the show, we'll end it with Giants. Big game tonight. Willie Mack Award winner will be announced.
Huge.
But I do want to get this in. Langford, if you could play this, because I want some quick thoughts before we go to the weekend. Draymond Green took the podium yesterday at training camp, and he was there for the first time this year. And, we was discussing Andrew Wiggins. He said, look, grown man's going to do what a grown man's going to have to do. I'm not going to get into that. I'm not going to make a decision. Mm-hmm. But I thought this was the cut, because a lot of people who are the Warriors? Are they trying to contend for a championship?
I don't know.
Are they contending for a playoff berth? They got a lot of youngsters here. So what Draymond Green had to say about the Warriors trying to integrate the youngsters with the old vets.
Historically, we have not seen that work, where you kind of got a mix of old. I wouldn't say any of us are old, but older. Andre's old as shit, actually. But, a mixture of, experience, hardly any experience. Historically, I think in just being a fan of the NBA, I can't recall the last time you've seen someone have success with that. But in saying that, that's our situation. And so you do what you got to do to make that situation work. And so that's where we are. At the end of the day, as a player, you don't make those decisions. I think we have a pretty good balance of young and experience, and, you just try to bring it all together and make it work.
What'd you take away from that?
Well, look, I'm going to go back in the Wayback Time Machine. I remember when James Worthy went to the Lakers, and I don't know, that worked out pretty good for them pretty quickly, right? And he was a top pick. Now, I think he's far more advanced than a lot of the kids coming into the league right now. That's obvious. But, they had a 58-win season that year, his rookie year. He's 21 years old.
Yep.
And they had Kareem and Magic, right? So we're talking about an all-time roster to begin with.
Spurs had a lot of youngsters with Tim Duncan. And they did.
I think it's easy, and I think we get caught up in this, only the veteran teams win. The way LeBron has assembled his teams, that's the way LeBron's done. And I also think the salary cap era has kind of forced teams into this direction, because if you're a good team, year after year after year, you're drafting way low, and you can only bring in those veterans. Like, the way the Warrior thing has kind of gone down, how many teams have been so great and then straight down?
Right.
And then they made a nice deal, and then they had another really good pick, and then didn't even make the playoffs the next year, but they're still, because of injuries, they still feel like they're in the mix. Like, this is a very outlier situation. I understand what he's saying, but I think that if you dig a little deeper, I think Kuminga can help this team right now. I'm not saying he's playing 40 minutes.
Right.
I'm saying 15 minutes at Kuminga isn't better than 15 minutes at Jordan Bell at the end of last year.
I'm with you. Let's go to Dre in Oakland. Dre, what's happening? You're on the roast.
What's going on, fellas? Thanks for taking the call.
Anytime.
Hey, the Draymond comment. Listen. I'm a fan. I'm a homer, right? So I'm gonna speak up on the young guys. I'm gonna say Jordan Poole has advanced and is upcoming. I'm gonna say that Kuminga is a baller. I'm gonna say all those great things. I mean, but even when I do that, if I'm keeping it 100 with myself, there's I'm not sure. I'm not 100% sure. One thing you gotta love about Draymond, he's gonna keep it a buck. So. I don't know how I can fault him. I cringe a little bit when he says it, because I'm like,
agreed.
I'm like, man, he's keeping it 100. So, it is what it is, and he's not wrong. That's all I can say.
Yeah. No, I'm really excited about this season. Because I think the Warriors can be really, really good. Now,
I like
a lot of
the
things,
roster.
A lot of things got to come into place, man. Like, where's Clay going to be at? How much better did Wiseman get this offseason despite rehabbing, right? Is he going to be better? Where's Kuminga going to be at? Jordan Poole. A lot of people are talking about Jordan Poole. He may start for Clay while Clay's out at the 2-guard spot. That does deplete your bench a bit, but you know what? Jordan Poole's a good player. Wiggins, what the hell is happening with Andrew Wiggins? What's going to happen with that situation?
Well, and B, like, I do remember, now the big three was so good and so top-heavy.
Mm-hmm.
They played Norris Cole and Mario Chalmers heavy minutes.
It did.
Like, I love how we, like, pick and choose parts of history that we like to include and not talk about. Like, you can be, right now, there are 3 very young players. Wiseman, Kuminga, Moody.
Yep.
Jordan Poole, I believe now, he is a veteran. He's been in the game 3 years. I still don't know what he is. He's relatively young, but he's not a baby, right? He in NBA years, he should be peaking coming up here. He should, or at least starting to move forward in his trajectory. Everybody else is older. Otto Porter, Bielitsa, Andre Iguodala, Kevon Looney, Klay Thompson, Steph Curry. Am I omitting someone?
No.
Draymond. Like, so we're talking about 3 of the 14, 15, and then you got GP2, maybe.
Right there. You got Avery Bradley, who's on the roster.
So we haven't talked about that. I love the Avery Bradley pickup.
Well, if he's healthy.
Insurance policy for Klay Thompson on the perimeter defensively. I hope he stays healthy. I love the acquisition. Low risk, high reward.
No doubt. No doubt. By the way, Richard Sherman will be active for the Buccaneers on Sunday, 6 days after being signed. Niners, Seahawks Sunday. You like the Seahawks. I'm taking the Niners. Giants tonight. And we'll get to Draymond Green and the rest of the Warriors next week when we have a little more time here. Is it happening today? Is this the day the Giants finally clinched the NL West, pulling off one of the biggest runs, biggest surprises in baseball? And, man, I can't even – Tampa Bay Rays come to mind for me in 07, 08 when they advanced to the World Series and won the AL East and beat the Red Sox in the ALCS. That was impressive because they came out of nowhere. They had stars, right? They had star power. Carl Crawford, a young Evan Longoria, David Price, who we all knew about, B.J. Upton. We knew about him. This team can pull off something that we did not expect at all. Is this the night they do it?
I feel like it is, man. Just got to win one tonight. Just win tonight, shorten that season, and pray to God the Dodgers lose.
Playing the Brewers tonight.
I need it. Please, Brew Crew, just win this one, rest everyone all weekend. We're good. We're good. We're good. You know, so I want to win tonight. The Giants, man, this has been a magical, unbelievable season, a fantastic voyage, as we've been talking about for quite some time. I'm so hooked on the Giants right now, and they need days off. Chris Bryant needs a day off. Crawford needs a day off. All these guys need days off.
You know what else? We need a day off, damn it.
I'm exhausted.
We're getting this day off tomorrow. I think we are. Then we're back at it Sunday for the kickoff show at the Hilton Hotel. Don't forget, come to the Hilton Hotel in Santa Clara. We will be out there early, bright and early. Then we'll be out there for the post-game show at the Hilton Hotel. Can't wait to see Joe Eustace. Can't wait to see Michelle. Can't wait to see the 49ers faithful Sunday when the Niners take on the Seahawks. But Giants, got a chance today. Is this the night? Steiny Guru Dibs coming up next right here on 95.7 The Game.
The 49ers' most hated rival.
Crabtree broken out.